Actually,
right.
I really don't know if I hit it. Oh, I did. Okay.
Hey. Oy vey. It's been one hell of a week, my friend.
It's Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, since we last recorded, which does feel a bit surreal that we uploaded the video like on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's like it's been 3 days. Like technically, when I left my house, I put on the podcast for Lucy because like ABP baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, it's like, yeah, it uploaded 1 day ago. And I'm like, it's much closer to 2 days at this point. Like now now that it's past 3, it's rolled over. It is 2 days, but I'm like, and now we're already recording the next one. Like it's that weird feeling.
Right.
Because it also does feel like it's been a full week. That's how time works, baby. So
it keeps on ticking.
Yes, it does. So let us know how you liked the Sunday upload. If that was better or worse, whatever. Apparently, if I did the poll, I should have posted it on Discord and not just the community post. But I'm like,
why?
My point exactly. I'm like one consolidated place.
You can't do polls on Discord.
No, but I at least could have just mentioned that like there was a poll, a community poll, which I will admit, like I probably could have.
They should be looking in their subscription.
Correct. That's my exact device. Point. Why do I want to hit just my Discord when I could hit all 1,810x people? 1.81 last I saw. Mm-hmm.
And I do mean X.
There's up to 9 of you who are no longer people. Your choice.
I hate to be the one to tell you.
It's a raffle.
It's a sweepstakes.
Oh wow, I'm not a person anymore.
What's joy?
It's like a reverse lottery.
Well, I mean, it is just a lottery.
That's true.
Lottery does not have a positive connotation inherently.
Really?
Yeah, it's just you receive something as a result of random chance.
That's true.
It's not something good.
Actually, perfect example. In Fallout New Vegas, I don't know if you ever played those games. I don't think so.
I know of them.
Mm-hmm. Fallout New Vegas is like the one that I played. Like I played 3 first, and then I even played 4 before I played New Vegas. But I wish I wouldn't. I wish I did a different order. New Vegas was great. Mm-hmm. But there's a part where like one of the rival factions. There's like the New California Republic, the NCR. They're like the Rangers. Josh would love them. You know, your sidekick is Boone, who's in a giant dinosaur's mouth, like a fake dinosaur, like it's in Texas because it's Mojave Desert,
right? And like
he snipes from the mouth, and so like you can like make him your buddy. I do like Boone. I got a soft spot for Boone. I'll be honest. But NCR, the big cool thing that I like about them is they have their flag. The New California Republic is a bear with 2 heads, so it does look kind of sick. Because I will admit, I think that like California has a sick ass flag because it's got a bear on it.
It'd be great if they hadn't killed all those grizzly bears.
You're right, to make it. To make each flag.
That'd be pretty cool.
Arizona's flag is not bad. I will admit.
We have a great flag, I think.
I think it doesn't like exude too much like Arizona energy in my opinion, but it just is aesthetically pleasing. It's not too busy and it doesn't look like shit.
I think it's a good flag. I'm surprisingly on board for our flag because I think most state flags are really fucking boring.
Man, now I feel like we should do like. Maybe we should do it. That would be a fun little like side activity. Is we do a state flag tier list?
Won't that just be that from the Bazinga Boingo, the fun with flags thing that he did? Won't that just be that?
Sure. I'm not up to date on Shellborb.
I think it's over.
Knack knack. Penny, please. No, but I think that would be fun. Like where we rank them, like. Trash, dog shit, wouldn't wipe my ass with it. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. Mid, which apparently is an insult.
Wants to be mid?
To call something mid.
Why is that an insult?
Like, it's me going like, oh man, the new batch of episodes for Stone Ocean were like fucking 10 out of 10, and someone goes, no, they were mid. Like, they're 5 out of 10 at best.
Right.
Like you're
middle
overhyped.
Of the road.
But it does kind of feel like there's a negative connotation, like they're shit talking you.
Well.
Like I don't think it's meant as like to mean like, I don't know, for me it was about a 5 out of 10.
Which is a complete failure.
I mean, it's
50%.
Well,
you only like 50% of it?
Which is odd if you think about it, because like 5 out of 10 is like an average. You'd think that's like you're neutral.
Right, but I think we just have a higher expectation.
Mm-hmm.
That like you should show some sort of mastery of whatever the thing is that's involved.
I guess. I don't know. Like, it makes me think about, like, what's the difference between a 5 and a 6, a 6 and a 7, 7 and an 8, 8 and a 9, 9 and a 10?
1.
Well, yeah. Anyway, the point that I was trying to make is that's one of the factions. You didn't need to know all the factions. I'm an idiot. There's the Caesar's Legion, where there's a guy who's basically just decided to, in the wasteland, bring order and structure via what the Romans did, including slavery and shit. And it's very fucked up, and they, like, you know, flay people.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a strict rule. Just saying, it's not always the worst thing to side with Caesar's Legion. So all I'm going to say, sometimes there's an achievement for finishing their
strict rule of what?
Like ruling the wasteland and the Mojave.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you meant there was like a singular. There's a strict rule that like
no.
you have
my
to.
apologies. No, like the royal rule, like as if like you know
with an iron fist.
Yeah, there's it's that sort of
there's
like you know
order
as opposed to like you know just loose military guys LARPing.
Chaos.
And then like ghouls and stuff. A ghoul. Yeah.
It's the scariest thing.
The ghouls are the people that are all like fucked up by radiation. Yeah, and they look all like sunken in. And they're just like, hey, what's up? And like they're pretty great. Although it does have some of the best DLC. I really like that game. It's very fun. But there's a part in Caesar's with it's kind of how you get introduced to Caesar's Legion if you're kind of playing the game the way that they kind of want you to at first, even though if you know what you're doing, you can always just go, nope, I'm going to go fuck off to, you know, Fallout 3. You just go, I'm going to go walk straight to Rivet City because I know where it is. Mm-hmm. You know, that kind of sort of thing. But you come into this, like, I think it's like Parson or something. It's in fucking city where there's a robot sheriff and we love him. Okay. Slim. Prospector or, Protector Slim or whatever. And you can, like, do a whole quest line to get him, like voted out of his position. But it's like, but he's the best sheriff. Like, all this bad shit still happens because he's just a greeter bot. But we love him. There's a dude that comes up that goes, like, I'm panicking. I'm freaking the fuck out. He's like, I won the lottery. And it's like, what was the lottery for? And it's like, you know, instead of being killed, or like, I got to like leave. It's essentially like you either like die or become a slave. Mm-hmm. One of the two. And like, there's like a lottery system for it. Like, it's very like fucked up and morbid. And you realize that like, oh no, this guy's getting killed. And I want to say he almost like explodes because he's got like a bomb on him or something. Like that was his win. He's like, you can go as long as you want. And it's like, no, they planted. I can't remember exactly, but he dies right in front of you. And you're just like, oh, does he have any loot?
There was a short story that I read in 8th grade language arts class.
You were a trifle low.
And we were reading it out loud. And I actually read the finale of it. And it was called The Lottery or something to that effect. And it was about a lottery of sorts where like everyone was all like, and it was like celebrated. It was like this amazing day where it's like a lottery. Everyone's so excited. We're going to find out the results, who wins and everything. And it's like a holiday. Kids are like running around and like excited. And it's like a big party and everybody's grabbing rocks. Cause it's like we grab rocks for the party.
This makes me feel like it's the begin. It's very similar to like the beginning of BioShock Infinite. When Columbia stops being so fun.
It's like, woo, like all the kids are like, you know, everybody grab the biggest rock you can. It's time for the lottery. And then and like the little kids have little rocks and the big kids have big rocks. And then it's and there's like this one woman who's like really excited for the lottery and everything. And then her name gets drawn. Turns out the lottery is you get they throw all the rocks at you and you kind of
get stoned to death. Yeah.
What a fun lottery. And her final line is, it isn't right, it isn't fair. And that's like the end of the thing. Yeah. And I had to read that part about this woman getting stoned. And it was, and not the fun kind. Yeah. And it was, it was really weird. And it was a very odd thing to read.
Well, but I mean, like, it's also like kind of like an impactful thing where it's like, you know, like that is also like, not going to lie, kind of bullshit for how like ecstatic, you know, it's the woman who voted for the leopards eat my face is now upset that the leopards are eating her face.
Yeah.
It's like, what? This is what you signed up for. Did you not understand the risk?
You were so excited for the lottery. You were handing the kids the rocks.
Little did you know, every rock that was thrown at you, you gave to them, which is why it's always your fault. Oh my God. That's not true.
Yeah, I don't even know I can't remember enough about it to be like what the overarching premise is, like what the time period is, where it's supposed to be. It was just like, it's a village where there's a lottery.
Hey,
every year.
Welcome to We Stone People Once a Year Village.
You wouldn't believe what we do. You'd never guess.
Logging. Actual key logging. I like that they can't see it. Also, that was in time, and that was very good. Oh, man. But yeah, that's the only lottery. I don't know why. Like, why did we bring up lottery in the first place?
I don't know.
I have no.
I don't know.
I was just like, winning the lottery. It's a fun time. It's great. Oh man, you ever fantasize about winning the lottery?
Yes.
And like you're like, I'm gonna do all these things.
Not much anymore, but like when I was a kid, like my parents love doing the lottery. Only when it gets like big amounts, like they're not like all the time kind of people. But like, it was a pastime in my family of like, you know, we all like sit down on like a chill evening when like we don't really have any plans or anything, and we just like talk about what we do if we win the lottery. It was just something that we did. Like I have multiple like very sweet like, you know, heartwarming memories of us sitting on my back porch or on my parents' back porch rather, as like, you know, a monsoon storm rolls in and us just talking about what we would do with like the lottery money, and it was a really fun time.
Oh man, you kind of brought me back with the monsoon. If I may share my core memory, not related to the lottery. My grandmother didn't do that, but when I first moved here, they were still building our house, and so we came over like at the beginning of the summer, and I ended up spending the summer down in Tucson with my grandmother. I'm a grandmother. Just the little girl from a vine. She's like, I like bats.
Oh yeah. She's a beef girl.
Yeah. Well, sure. They're all the same. It's all one kid.
It's that one girl.
Yeah. I don't think it's the one that says like I smell like beef. I think it's different.
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think it is.
I don't think so. I'm pretty adamant that it's two different things, because that one looks like a wet baby. That one looks closer.
That was
to
her
peanut
when
butter
she was
baby.
a kid. She grew up.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Smell Like Beef girl grew up to be like that one who like talks like an old woman, even though she's like a kid. That's her.
Oh.
She just grew up.
Damn. Man, Vine really
Apparently
captured
she's
a
always
lot.
been weird.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, you know, respect though, you know? It's like, I've been the way I am. I don't know what to tell you. But, no, I remember actually it was you saying like about the monsoon, and I'm like, I remember that summer. That was also like the summer where on Cartoon Network, back when they used, I mean, I don't watch it anymore, so I couldn't tell you. I don't have cable. But like, I remember where Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was like going to be coming out soon. And so it was like in like the commercial space in between like shows and breaks and stuff, there'd be like one of the characters coming out and you're like, I don't know who the fuck this is. And they're like, Foster's Home's coming. And
wasn't there
like,
one of the
hyped.
characters on it where I never watched the show, but in the commercials leading up to the show being released, there was like an elephant character or whatever, and they were like, they're not something, they're just a little eccentric. And I remember I was a little kid and I was like, what the fuck is eccentric mean?
Yeah, she's like nasty.
Yeah.
But like, it's also a bit of that, like, she was imagined to be that.
Right.
So like, you know, there's a lot that goes to it. There's some good deep stuff. But I remember that summer specifically where like I spent a lot of time like going to like the like we go to the library. So like I read through almost like the entirety of like all the Charlie Bones series, which I think I mentioned before. And then like I remember sitting out on the back patio with my CD player.
Oh hell yeah!
Listening to at church. Afterwards, in the little church bookstore, I was allowed to buy a CD.
Oh.
And so I think it was Plus 44. I think it was some Christian band shit. Like, and like, I remember like listening to that on my CD player while reading. And I would just like keep repeating the CD. And I remember sitting out and she had this like old, like kind of like rocking swing, like swing bench as like the monsoon's coming. And I'm like, how long can I stay out here before I get wet?
Yeah.
Like, and just enjoying, like, I can still smell it. Like, if you've never been near monsoon, it is like hot rain. It's got this weird smell that is like, at least for me, like, it's nostalgic. Like, it hits. Like, I remember this year, the first time I smelled like monsoon seasons here. And I'm like, it's hot.
Yeah.
But like, oh man, it's like, yeah, but you don't get the like dark storm over like overcast is not as often out here.
Yeah, well, particularly in the monsoon season, because it's like the storms come in at night, so you don't really get like overcast stuff. Speaking of CD players, though, I don't know if you experienced this, but like where I where I lived and stuff, and we would be like riding on the bus, like it had to go on like dirt roads and shit, and so it would be like bumpy,
skirt,
and even on like not on the dirt roads, like those roads were like bumpy and like train like a mess.
I've listened to Big Smo's Bumpy Road. I'm a man of.
But literally, what?
I'm thinking of Jesse again.
Oh God, not that Super Jess. They're not gonna know.
No, but he was so mad. It doesn't matter. I found a picture of someone
He
that
was
looked
just
like,
confused.
that looked like Brandon. It was a girl, and she kind of.
He then called me afterwards when he was like, "Do you really think that she looks like that?" And he's like, "I don't get it." I was like, "Yeah,
yeah." I mean, like it very much of like clearly, I'm like, there's a very tiny resemblance. It's like no,
Just
I would
enough.
never mix the two of them up. But like that's what my
also,
first.
it was the facial expression.
You're right.
More than anything,
The
it was
angle.
that like that attitude.
And I was like, because it's the way that like her brow and stuff. Where
Yeah.
I'm like, like that was the litmus test. Is like I gotta send to you, and if you are not vibing, like you get what I mean. Where I'm like, no, clearly, and which is why Brandon was like, why are you looking up like female
Right.
versions of my dad? I'm like, oh, you're pissy. I'm sorry. Or like, you know, I'm like, that's not like that wasn't the joke. It's just like I'm not even trying to make fun of Brandon. It's just like this just looks like it. It's very funny. I mean, then I three-way called. Anyway, my apologies. I'll stop. I got it out of my system now.
Oh, like old
So
CD
CD player.
players, because like back in the olden times,
You have to rewind.
before MP3 players were common, which is so weird to think about.
Yeah.
That that was like that happened during like formative years for us. Like we were there, like in the big switch from like CD to MP3, and then it was like getting like the smallest MP3 player you could possibly get for a while.
And it was like a little like A shape, and like there was like all the off brands, and then iPod started taking off, and then like iPod and Zune suddenly were like that was it, or you're buying some flea market
Right, or you're
party
trash.
knockoff. Yeah.
And
You were
there was the rise of the USB ones where it was like you pop like the cap, and as we like got older, those got really cheap. So they'd like give that out as like like stupid like prizes for things. Be like, you get an MP3 player. I'm like, it's a 16 gigabyte flash drive that's this big that barely has a screen on it. But anyway,
That's a flash drive.
yeah. But anyway, CD
You put
players,
Doom on that.
like, I was fucking broke growing up and everything. So I had some like bullshit hand-me-down CD player, and it would skip.
Oh, no.
Anytime you hit a bump on the bus, the fucking thing would skip. And so you'd literally be like cradling your like, and you can't hold it too tight because then like you shaking shakes it. So you're trying to like create some sort of anti-gravity hold cushion.
As a child, trying to come up with like a gyroscope.
Yes. Like we didn't need to drop an egg in like straws and make it survive. I had to get through the full album of From Under the Cork Tree without it skipping. I'm like holding, not even From Under the Cork Tree, Take This to Your Grave, and just trying to like hold this fucking like CD player. And then when I was able to finally like get myself for my birthday, I got an anti-skip CD player. Oh bitch, I was the belle of the ball.
Oh,
I was the boss of that bus. You couldn't tell me shit.
You
We
the
were like
boss.
we were splitting headphones
boss.
because it had like a second headphone
Oh.
jack, and so it'd be like, who wants to listen to my unskippable CD?
Oh, dude, I
I felt like I was on top, and it literally was probably like $15, but I was like, y'all can't tell me shit.
I now realize that maybe you and I come from different sides of the bus here, because I have a core memory when I lived in California where we were on the bus. We were going to I don't know, something in Stockton, some fucking science center or some shit. I don't know. And my friend, his mom was the my tinnitus is acting up. His mom was one of the chaperones, and he had a CD player that had like a split port, and he had an extra set of headphones, and he was listening to "Damn It" by Blink-182, like that album, and I was like, "Oh, can I listen?" And he goes, "I have to ask my mom," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," because his mom's like right over there,
Right.
and she goes, like, I don't remember, like I was like probably just doing something else, and he goes, "My mom says I probably shouldn't let people listen to it," which.
It could be because the album, though, like parents could freak.
So, like, as a kid, I was like, "Fuck that! Your mom
Right.
is trash.
Your mom's
That's
a fucking
not fair.
bitch.
Why are these sounds forbidden to me?
Right.
This isn't fair." Because, full stop, my mother would not let me.
Right.
Meanwhile, I remember getting in trouble because like a lot of like that, like like ska punk era like music that I really like. I realized, although I discovered ska like in high school, it was when I was younger, when my dad was dating this girl named Sheila. She had 4 kids, oldest kid Amber. She listened to like a lot of Sublime, like early Nickelback stuff, like all of that, and we would listen to it in the car. And like whenever I was there, and that was back when like I would actually like my dad would pick me up from school, or like we were there every weekend and stuff. So it was like there was a brief period of time where like divorce was good. I was seeing everybody all the time, right. And then we moved states. But I'm like, I'd listen to that, and I used to walk around my mom's apartment, you know, or her condo, like singing the lyrics to Adam's song. I don't know if you know which one that is. You know, the one that's really like about, it's not, like it's a very important song. It's very good. It's just like, fuck, man, like emotional. She goes, what are you singing? And I'm like, it's about a kid who wants to. She goes, what? And I'm like, I heard it at Dad's house. Oh, he got. Oh, but how can I lie?
Right.
I was still under the thumb, not knowing that I could be my own man at that point.
Right.
Being the man they wanted me to be, not that I was going to be. Mm-hmm. And like, I remember her get like my mom would like just ripping him a new one. So like now as an adult, I'm like, she was a cool mom and was absolutely like, I'm not
trying to cover
in
her
trouble.
ass.
Yeah, I'm not getting in trouble for you listening. I'm like, unless I know that they're allowed to, because it's like I'm cool, but like, and I'm like, you know what? That takes some like balls, like in a weird, some like parent way to be like, no, I'm cool, and I will take on the ire of the kids for not being the cool mom, because PTA moms are vicious.
I'm surprised that the kid had the wherewithal to be like, I should ask my mom.
I think it's because she told him like only he could listen to it.
Oh,
and
that
then,
would make sense. Like this CD's for you.
Yeah, but I'm like, but we were friends,
right?
So
yeah, the problem with the split port was that like it technically was like, I don't think you were really supposed to like listen with 2 headphones. It was some kind of like aux out port, but you could like use it and it would cut the volume in half.
Oh, because it was like one ear or the other, where you get half the volume.
Yeah, so it's like you'd crank that shit to max, and like buses are loud and stuff, and all the kids are like, you know, being fucking like screaming and everything. The plight of a bus driver, I can only fucking imagine.
Big ups to Tanya, my like through high school, she was the bus driver up until I moved. Like, but like she put up with so much shit.
I cannot even imagine. But yeah, so we'd have to like crank it to max and be like holding it. It was helped once like earbuds became more of a thing, because that's like in your ear. Because before it was like
it's the simple cans.
It was like.
Or not even cans.
Not even cans. Like just the flimsy, like with the little thin.
It's a little
plastic.
speaker.
Yeah. Ooh, bad. Oh God.
What were you? Where did you sit on the bus?
Middle.
Ooh, a middle bus.
I was like middle towards the front. I didn't want to be like front, but like the back was the kids who like they were like, performing back there.
You're getting fucked up with like.
And like that wasn't me, because
I was
like
jumped by kids in the back of the bus. So
I didn't like being in the back of the bus, because that was where the mean kids were, and I would get like, you know, my ass chewed. So I was like, I'm gonna be not in the front, because if you're in the front, then you're like a fucking like nerd prep, and then you're also gonna get made fun of.
2 rows behind the front, and that is like peak position, because you're still cool enough to be able to talk and be friends with like the bus driver, because it's important to be friends with the bus driver.
You always say thank you every time you get off the bus.
Absolutely.
Every fucking time you say thank you when you get off the bus.
I knew that even as a little kid, because it's like you're taking a lot of time. And like,
right. No one had to tell me that. You just do that. They're doing you a service. They got you there alive. Say thank you.
I mean, even like actual bus drivers, like just city bus drivers or anything. Like honestly, like same thing with like
at college when on flash buses, say thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it's like a taxi that I paid for, I still thank them. Like
they teach you a thing.
I put my life in your hands. You don't really ever think about it like that, but you know. That's why I clap when the movie's over.
Oh my God. That's why I clap when the plane lands.
No time for clapping. More time for grabbing.
No time for Caillou. The biggest thing about sitting on the bus, though, was you had to make sure that one of your friends was in the seat in front of you, because I've always been a sweaty child. And opening your window doesn't really cool you off. You need to open the window of the kid in front of you,
because
the air flows onto you. So you have to get a friend in that seat.
Oh, see,
open the window.
You're like your bus strats are way above and beyond mine.
I had to learn in the nasty, the hot and nasty. I was a very sweaty person. Always my entire
life. The majority of it where it like mattered, because like when I lived in California, it was a long bus ride. Also, when I went to like 4 overflow schools one year, it was crazy. But then like when I was in Phoenix, like I could walk to school, like my middle school, and then the high school I did have to get a ride to, but like my bus ride is nowhere near the length of your bus ride.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Because it's like I was like, just it's over a mile, so you get the bus. That's kind of the rub on that. But
yeah, it was a very long bus ride. I mean, you'd have to ride for like 20 minutes before you even start dropping kids off.
Yeah, that's
then I was towards the back of like the run.
Yeah, so you're like, I'm last.
It was, yeah.
I remember sometimes like for the high school bus, I'd hang out at Nick Davies' house. I can say that he's a public figure.
Oh my god.
No, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a really cool musician. You should go look him up and listen to his stuff. But don't tell him that I told you that, because like I haven't talked to him in quite a few years. He used to be friends with Drake Bell. Oh. He is no longer friends with Drake Bell, but I do find it hilarious. My little tidbit.
Oh God, yeah.
He's my fun British friend. But I love him and his family. But we used to like be hanging out. We did all of the Deep Space Emissary together.
Deep Space Emissary.
Or what is it? That's the Wii U Smash, or for the Nintendo Wii Super Smash Brothers Brawl story mode. Subspace Emissary.
Subspace Emissary. Okay.
Yeah, I was.
I was like,
but I remember like we were doing it. We make chip buddies, the whole thing, and we'd be like, sometimes we'd be late for the bus, and it's like, okay, it was like the stop was more or less like right outside where his house was, and so if we had already missed the bus, we're like, okay, it's gonna go there. We're gonna run two stops ahead, and it's like full mad sprint in flip flops, like because you're a dumb kid who didn't think about it because you wanted to like dick around for a few minutes. Lucas and I, we used to get like we'd have like a blue low carb Monster that his dad bought, like he had like a shit ton of them because like for work or something, and we'd like have one and walk from his house where he lived mildly close to Taylor at the time, and we would walk to school, and we would straight up be like, because we had gym first period, we would be walking onto campus as like the Pledge of Allegiance is going on because like there's that time to like get dressed and changed, and like it really didn't start for 15 minutes. And so I'm like, sometimes I'm like, man, I was like a total dork in high school. I'm like, I also like, even in middle school, I'm like, I absolutely abused the rules.
Meanwhile, I was having to ride the fucking bus, and it would, so like I had to get like, school started at 7:30. Well, that was first bell.
7:40. Yeah, 7:40.
Yeah, first bell was 7:35. The actual start was 7:40. And
I lock my door at 7:40. You can go go to sweep.
You're gonna go to sweep. You're gonna go to sweep.
Have you ever been to sweep?
No.
It is hell.
I never missed an entire class. I never missed a class my entire like.
Oh, I mean, you never were sick? Oh, never late.
Never was late to a class.
Never got swept.
Yeah, I never went to sweep.
I was swept one time, and that was only because like I had an appointment in the morning and came back middle of the class, so they sent me to sweep.
Oh well, they should still let you in though, because you were back from an appointment.
But the teacher was like, nope, the door's locked. So unless you need to go to the bathroom, and then I'll go unlock it for you. And then you can knock.
You need someone on the inside.
Exactly. So I was like, I'll go and do sweep. And it's like, I got to do homework because like I wasn't technically swept. It's just like the class had like more or less started. And maybe there was like exams or something or whatever.
Yeah,
that I couldn't interrupt it. And I'm like, well, this is hell. And there's kids that are in sweep like all day. Like if you get like in school suspension. And it's like, yeah, I get it that it's a punishment, but at the same time, like
it can be a productive punishment, for God's sake. Like,
sometimes I really wish that like people would understand that like it doesn't need like
punitive punishment for the sake of it is unhelpful.
It's like prisons, like in I want to say it's like in Sweden, where like the prisons like you actually like at least at like a normal from what I understand, and I could be completely wrong in the exact context, but it's like regular prison cell is like you have like a bed, like, you know, sheets and like everything. There's like, you know, a sink, bathroom and everything. And like, you know, a small television, like, because it's like, you're still a person.
Right.
And I want to say it's also, it may be Sweden as well, but like where it's not illegal to escape because it's natural. Like you will get busted and come back, but you're not going to get more time at it. Cause it's like, no, like you do.
It's a natural human inclination.
And I'm like, is it that hard to just treat people like people? And I'm like,
that doesn't make money.
Not here in America. Goddamn right. That's not the dream.
Yeah. Anyway, because I rode the bus, I'd get to school like literally like an hour fucking early.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't get to school an hour early. I had to be like on the bus an hour and 20 minutes early or something.
Yeah, to get there like with like 20 minutes left to spare or something like that.
Yeah, and so then we would get like, and because like buses and it makes sense, stray on the side of safety. So like they're going to get you there like much earlier than class starts because things could happen. There could be, you know, like traffic accident, whatever. So like it makes sense. But the bus ends up then dropping you off 35, 40 minutes before class starts, and you're just standing there, just fucking waiting. And then meanwhile, the people who live in the town real close to the school just march on in with 5 minutes
with
before the bus,
Starbucks.
and I'm just like, you little bitch.
I distinctly remember like people that are
I'm
like
so glad when
Arizona
I'm
doesn't
finally
get
driving
cold,
school.
and I'm like, no.
That's a bullshit lie.
It gets, our blood is thin. We can handle the 108-degree heat, not well, but like longer than you could, coward.
That's my thing. Is it's not like whenever people are like, that's not cold. I'm like, I'm not saying it's cold for you. I'm saying it's cold for me.
Yeah.
So like, and it's cold. Done.
It's not a challenge. Like,
Right.
I'm cold.
If you want to do the one-up game, you couldn't handle 110 degrees. But like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's just as stupid. It's like, it's cold for me. Done.
Yeah, like right now, California's like in a massive heat wave where they're like it's 105, and I'm like, that fucking sucks. Like, I could be like, I was like,
it's been worse here. That
it's
doesn't mean that
108,
doesn't
but
suck.
like, it's supposed to be 108 right now. Like,
Right.
it's still hot, but like it's probably hotter than it should be. But like, it's within what's expected at this time of year.
Yeah.
Versus like, no, we're not used to it being like above 95, and it's like, I get that.
Yeah, that is a heat
It
wave.
ain't fun. But I remember getting like 2 different parts of high school where one was like the bus would, even though I was one of like the closer to being one of the last pickups. So like in one of the first drop offs, which was nice.
Yeah.
So with that kind of
One of the first pickups and one of the last drop-offs because they like,
first one in,
flipped
last
it.
one out,
It's
baby.
fucking awful.
do your time. It's the worst. And like, God forbid you want to go to a friend's house who was on a different bus, and they like you didn't have one who was cool.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Oh god.
let's call the police.
Literally.
We're calling in the National Guard.
Huge fucking thing.
God, but I remember getting to school so early and it being like 6:40, 6:45, and it's like, okay, like it's still dark out,
Right.
Because like it doesn't, like the sun doesn't even come up until 7:45.
Yeah.
And like the wind chill because you're dressed for later in the day.
Right. That's the other thing is that like Arizona heat and coldness, we're a desert. And so desert has very drastic temperature shifts over the day.
And like the chill, like the wind chill will fuck you up.
Yeah. And so like you literally reach this like shit zone of like the year where it's like, do I need to dress for like most of the day? It's still going to be like not hot, but it's going to be like, you know, warm enough that like I don't want to be like bundled up. And so then it turns into like this guessing game of like how many
Your jacket's too thin.
Right. What do I layer?
Yeah.
But you're a kid, so you don't think like that. It's just like I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I don't need a jacket.
I'm fine.
Or then it's too hot and it's like it's summer and it's like everyone's still wearing a jacket because it's like
Right.
the vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's straight
I
up.
was one
Yeah,
of those
yeah.
people. I'm saying, but yeah,
I don't care if it's 100 out. I'm wearing my hoodie. I look cool.
thought he looks good.
Yeah, goddamn right. And like, I remember just being so fucking cold. And I think like I was dating Melissa at the time, and like I'm like, hey, do you mind if we cuddle? But like not for romantic purposes, but
I
like
just want
to not
to take
die.
body heat.
Yeah, to not die. This would be great. I also some bullshit. Because did you do a lot of extracurriculars in like sports? You didn't do any sports in high
I didn't do
school,
any
right?
sports. I did like academic decathlon and stuff, but Ekadiki.
I did at least when I first started because Jerry made me do a lot of it. Like I did swim team, which I don't know how. I don't think I was actually on the swim team. Like I remember applying for it. Like I signed up for it. I would go to practice. I fucking hated the coach, and I didn't like the way that they ran it.
Right.
And it made no sense. And then like I would find out that like we had meets and like everyone went on the bus to go down to the meet and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. When was that? Like, because there were so many kids on the swim team that
Right.
like straight up, which is why they had a bad coach. Because how does like this kid not know that he's going anywhere?
Right.
How are you not expressing that like you need to be here at this time? Like they would never do that. Like you just showed up to go, and like I'm like, and I hated it that much anyway, which I'm sure they probably didn't mind.
Yeah.
But like doing that shit and then like doing like wrestling or like I did like long distance track, and then I did cross country. And sophomore year when I did cross country in the morning, I also a band that year. The band director was able to get like the core band people that would be in marching band to have band first period.
Okay.
So that we could just do early morning practices, like practicing marching.
Oh, okay.
like in the fall, so that
Yeah.
like we could kind of get bonus practices in aside from our like Monday, Wednesday, or whatever it was doing for like 3 hours in the evening.
Yeah.
But since I also did cross country, it's like, well, you can do both, but now I need to start, for lack of a better term, I got to run with the Mormon kids.
Mm-hmm.
So at 5 a.m., we had already known like what we needed to do. Like she would like, the coach would tell us, what we needed to do like the day before or whatever. It's like, okay, tomorrow you guys are going to run this. It's like, okay. So we'd go and run it just like the 4 or 5 of us, like me, like Carly and Bailey, Joel and all them. And like, okay, like we're running, doing it, whatever. Like no one talking to each other because it's bumfuck early.
Mm-hmm.
And then like exhausted. And then like, I'm like a little late to tuba practice or, to marching band practice. And like, you'll see me fucking sweating. And like my band instructor would be like, let's go, come on. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like, the drill that we're working on today, I'm not moving in. It's not me that's the problem. I stand still. It's a sousaphone. You would see if I moved. We did do a cool like where for Superman is like the interlude one year for a marching band. I think Desmond had the solo on the trumpet, and then like the rest of the band all turns around, so it's like just like the one focus. And we as tubas are like, we got to be special because like we got 4 brain cells between the 3 of us,
Right?
And so we figured out this move of like the big sousaphone wraps around you with a big ass horn, where as we're turning around, and we figured out how to do it one-handed.
Spin it.
Yeah. So well, not like spin it, but it would be like so like imagine it like here. As we're turning around, we're pulling it up and like holding it completely upside down. So it's like as if we're like disarming as we are like, it was in time. It looked really, really cool.
Hell yeah.
And then I was always jealous of Mountain Ridge because they had like 17 sousaphones, including 2 hot goth girls. And it's like, damn, I got Logan and Randy.
They're doing their best.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Or
And then
maybe
we
not, I
got
don't know.
Adam. Yeah, we got Adam after the next year. And then we also got David too 1 year, but like after Logan graduated. But like, and now last I saw Randy was working at one of the pot shops that I would go to. And I was like, do you own a shirt that says 2BA? And he goes, Steve. And I'm like, Randy. And he's like, come here. And I was like, all fucking jazzed to see him. I'm like, damn, man, I hope you're doing well.
That's cool.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the
Hell Yeah podcast,
where it's on time every time.
Ding.
Ding. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to open the show with?
I think we covered all the bases. We talked about high school.
Flag states. I'm a world record holder.
That's amazing.
I know. I'm still so excited. For anyone who does not watch my Twitch streams or in my Discord, or I mean, you already knew because I told you yesterday and I was talking about it earlier. I mentioned a few podcast episodes ago that I had like something in the works, but I didn't really like touch on it because I'm like, if it doesn't go anywhere, then like whatever. So I played Stray, the cat game, which I highly recommend. It's very fun. Like if you're looking for like, you're way too stressed, go be a kitty in the robot city. It's great. You'll cry.
Put on the little vest and just...
It is. If you get all 6 badges, or not if you get all 6 badges, if you get all 24 memories for the little bot that helps you translate and stuff, you get a special like Technicolor, like it's like that silver rainbow kind of aesthetic, like vest.
Aurora Borealis.
Yes. And it's so cool. And I was like, well, that kind of sucks. It's like, well, I'm like, but you get it like at the very end.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you're,
New Game
especially if
Plus.
you're achievement, not New Game Plus, but if you're achievement hunting and stuff, you can go back and do all the missions. And you can technically do the missions like one at a time. So like you go back on those missions, you have your current end game state. So like that was nice to do the cleanup before just the last one. Well, in Stray, there is an achievement, which was the last one that I needed because I got the hard one out of the way first, which is to just beat the game in under 2 hours in game time, not counting like load screens and stuff. And if you're going to do that, it's better, obviously, to play the game first because a lot of the puzzles and stuff, you spend so much time exploring and just doing little things and you don't know where shit's at. And like you can get through it in 2 hours if you're not bothering to do any side stuff. You're just focused on like what exactly needs to be done. I was kind of following a walkthrough for like what exactly do I need. Finished all of that and I was like, man, we got it. Felt hype. And I'm like, you know what? I I wonder what the world record is, like speedrun, like for this game, because there's got to be some fun optimizations. I go and I look on speedrun.com where the leaderboards are, and they've got like the PS5 any percent, 100%, glitchless, unrestricted, no major glitches, all that. Same thing with PS5, PC, PS4 any percent. I'm like, okay. I go to 100% PS4, unrestricted, no runs, glitchless, no runs, and I sit there and this like tingles all over my body where I go, chat, there's no run, nothing's been submitted. And so if nothing's been submitted to the leaderboard and you go and make a submission and they approve it, you then technically, although it is not the fastest time, would have a world record.
It's the fastest at the moment.
It is currently the fastest. I'm the only one on the leaderboard. I'm the only person who decided to run the 100% category on PS4, record it with like time, like RTA, and submit it. And it's like, it's my Twitch VOD. Like I recorded part of my Twitch VOD right when we started it. And so like, and I uploaded it to YouTube. I had to wait a day. And it was like, I submitted it and I was like, I'm submitting this to unrestricted only because like I'm almost certain that I didn't use any glitches, but on the off chance that something I did was a glitch unintentionally, I'm doing it there, and submitted it. Waited 24 hours for Twitch to be like, yeah, you now you can do that because it's like proprietary shit, and they're like, okay, thank you for submitting it. It'll take like 3 to 4 weeks. Review it, yeah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I'm just like waiting. 15
minutes later.
15 minutes later. Yesterday, twitch.tv/Alina Arena. She's very cool and very fun. I had her on my stream. I did like a little interview with her where I was like, I have a set if you don't mind walking in, which was just a screenshot of like Jimmy Fallon talking to a guest, and like over his face is my camera. Right. I put up little picture, clear PNGs of like the egg that I have with like my face on it as if it's a desk tchotchke. Put her picture up there. Very fun time. And something she said, like it just in my brain, like I was like, I should probably go check to see if it's like if I've gotten any news yet, expecting it to get declined because it's not fast enough.
Right, something.
Because it's like I was excited for it, but like measured excitement because I'm like,
yeah,
I know that it's not sub 2 hours, which is where if you look at it on other consoles, it's at for like leaderboard stuff. But I'm like, at the same time though, there's nothing that's been submitted, so it doesn't matter if I fuck up.
Right.
There's no time, like the only time to beat is the time that I get.
Yeah.
And so we're in the middle of talking and whatnot, and I let her finish and I go, okay, can I interrupt you real quick with something like insane? She goes, yeah. And I'm like, yada, yada, yada. Like it turns out that like it's been approved. It's right there. You can go to Speedrun, go look at it, and you can click on it and you can see the video that I uploaded and my comments and all that. And I was like, holy shit. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, I'm friends with a world record holder. And I'm like, yes. So if you do have a PS4 and want to run it, I implore you to go ahead and beat my time and go take an easy. If you can do it in less than 2 hours, 14 minutes, or I think it's 2 hours and 14 minutes and 47 seconds, something like that. I've
never even seen a 2:15.
I don't know.
Blew right past it.
I kind of, there's part of me that's like, do I want to like do a couple practice runs and like actually like get it sub 2 hours, like just for my own sake? Because like the whole achievement of like beating the game quickly like is best done by not doing any of the other stuff. And I'm like, no. I'm so fast that I go in 100, like it's not all the achievements because that's impossible. Yeah. But it's like, I got all of the requirements, all the little side quests to get all the badges, because you can get most stuff. Like if you know where to go, you can kind of, it's, it's routing. It's getting all the shit along the way. Like you go to Momo to hand over the book, and normally you're supposed to like, you talk to Momo and he goes, I have friends, you should go get their notebooks. And like, cause they're trying to like go to the outside and I was too chicken. And it's like, actually, I already have all of them. Here you go. Also, I already found most of the music sheets. And then like, that was annoying because it's like you give the music sheet, he starts playing. Normally you'd have to wait a minute for him to stop playing. You just close the game, open it, and all that. It was a lot of fun. And so I'm very proud of it. And it's like one of those where I'm like, I did it. I did one of my goals. Like something like young me. Yeah. You and I hung over on the couch watching Fifi going, we're
dreaming of a day.
Cause it's like, and I mean, I know you've wanted to too, where it's like, it's like, what would you want to do? And it's like, well, all the games that like are really popular, it's
You'd
so
never-
competitive.
Yeah.
Like you're
It's not that you'd never, but the amount of work you'd have to put in.
I like it would be still be fun to like, not really. I don't think I'd actually want to do it, but like to be on the leaderboard, just to be on like top 25
Right.
of like, like Majora's Mask or something. But it's like either the game's way too long and doesn't feel like the right kind of fun. Because like I will say with Stray in particular, it did feel like flow.
Mm-hmm.
So not like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff and like minute jump. It's like, no, I'm just completing the game. And like,
Yeah.
I'm still following like a guide because like it's not all fresh. And there's like a couple parts in particular where I'm like, fuck, where do I go? Like, how do I get to where, like, I don't remember where it's at. And it's like, well, it's all right. You just figure it out. But, so that's pretty cool. So,
Hell yeah.
I have not let it get to my head. I've just changed my name
I
everywhere.
was gonna say, put it to your bio and
Yeah,
your
100%.
name
It's on
and-
my Twitter bio. Yeah, and the snippet of the world record is the current background of
Hell
my
yeah.
Twitter. So
As it should be.
yeah, I'm like even if it's short lived,
It does. You can never
it
take that
doesn't matter.
away.
You did it exactly.
You did it. You checked the box.
Even
Done.
if you only held the world record for an hour,
you had
had
it.
everyone else had the exact same opportunity to upload and do it.
Listen, everybody has to stay
It's
24
free.
hours in a day.
It's free flop. That's not true. Some people have more hours.
More hours.
Mm-hmm.
More than 24
You
hours.
telling me that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have part of his brain uploaded to a computer so he can do stuff?
Muckelberg.
Yeah, Schmuckerberg,
Mr. Schmuckerberg.
Mr. Mark.
He's out there floating in the 3D
Zucchini.
wasteland with no pants.
He porky pigging
'Cause
it
he's
in the meta.
Meta.
Meta, can you give us the update on Meta?
Have you received your lawsuit yet for copyright
Right,
infringement?
Hey, your identity is something that we copyrighted already, so like, can you fix that?
If you could like change that, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Here's our lawyers.
We love that for you.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh. Hell
yeah. What's been new with you this weekend?
I've just been vibing and having a good time.
Is your best life what you've been living?
Me and Brandon and Taylor recently played a video game where, because I know you don't like Overcooked.
Mm-hmm.
We do. And
That's okay.
but in lieu of playing Overcooked, Taylor's brother was like, hey, and I like that Unrailed game.
That one was fun. I will admit,
Yeah.
I like that.
I like Unrailed better than Overcooked, to be clear.
because it's more like because you can have a job and it makes sense.
It's not frantic in the same way. It can get frantic,
Mm-hmm.
but never in a way that feels like artificial. It feels like
You can actually like everyone's frantic, but like you can feel the frantic while also still focusing on your task. Whereas Overcooked, it's like the second things get frantic, it's like the screen just blurs.
also
in my head.
Overcooked pulls like bullshit. Like they'll pull the rug out from under you. Unrailed doesn't. It's
They
just
have
a
two.
steady.
They have two cars that are then like separating for traffic, and it's like this is insane.
And it's like all of a sudden, it's like the map will just explode. Like Unrailed doesn't really do that.
It's just as how far you can
It's
get.
it's a pretty steady just difficulty incline.
Which is weird when you think about like the map is just a bunch of blocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like it's a difficulty that you can pretty easily mitigate. I mean, like when you go to different regions, like some fucky shit will happen. Like different zones can do things like they can like adjust the screen and stuff, but it doesn't feel fucky in the same way because I don't know. It's like telegraphed
you can
better.
outsmart it.
Yeah, it's very strategic, whereas like so much of Overcooked just feels frantic, which I still like Overcooked, but I like Unrailed better. All of that to say,
As someone who's always frantic, it's like I don't need this externally.
right?
But
We played. Taylor's brother was like, "Oh, if you guys like Overcooked, if you like Unrailed, you should try this game called Plate Up." So we played Plate Up. It's like Overcooked, but fun.
Oh.
it's
Okay.
like I still don't know if you would like it, but I imagine you would like it.
I would. I'm always like I'll always try something, but like I will be honest if it's not my vibe.
I know you would like it better. I don't know if you would like it because it's much more. Think about an Unrailed version of Overcooked, where it's like you're building a restaurant, you're like serving customers, cleaning messes, washing dishes, cooking food, taking orders, running orders, and everything. But it's very like everybody just has a job. Like when we were doing it, Taylor was the server, so she was the one who has to take the orders, grab them,
See,
serve
that's
it to
what's
them.
nice.
Brandon was the chef. I was everything else. So I was cleaning up messes in the kitchen.
You're the front end manager.
I'm washing dishes. I'm plating. I'm getting everything like lined up. I'm sort of like I'm the sous chef middleman. And it's a lot of fun.
Would you like to know, busboy?
It's very addictive.
Okay.
When we were playing it, we literally we started playing it at I don't know, 6 or 7 or something on that night, and then we just kept playing it, and I haven't had this happen in quite a while. We literally realized it was 1 a.m.
Oh,
we were like,
yeah.
oh fuck, okay, we got we all have work tomorrow. We need to not
we need to stop. Not one more.
Yeah, no, not just one more. But it's very good if you're an Overcooked-esque kind of fan. I really enjoyed it. I think it's really fun. Also, it's a lot more it has a lot. There's a lot of options and everything. It's very you have to fail to unlock new things, and you will fail.
Kind of like Hades,
yeah,
where it's dying is losing is almost more fun because it's now I get so much more lore. I get to buy upgrades finally. Let's go.
Yeah, there's now different stuff to cook and everything, and it's and as the game continues, you're in your same restaurant, and so it's getting more difficult, but it's in circumstances that and that you're getting more and more practiced with each step. So it's now the next thing is it's okay, now you have to also make a side of broccoli with the 3 different kinds of steak you could make. But you already have good systems for the steak. So it's not so learning a new system every day in Overcooked, where it's it's a new level, everything's different, figure it out.
Yeah.
This is iterative, which feels good.
Yeah, it's always building upon itself.
Yeah. Until you fail, in which case you start a new restaurant, but then you start at the end, you start at the lowest end, and it's easy, and you just you build back up. So yeah, and it does have some RNG aspects of it, which can get a little frustrating in terms of every time you finish a day, blueprints appear in the restaurant, and that's random rolls of what you can get, and some are way better than others. You could get an extra cooking, stove. Or a dish rack, so you can stack up 4 dirty dishes instead of 1. Those things are good. Some of the things are shit that don't really help.
Or it's we could use those other things much more than this. This is nice when you have a lot of the other upgrades.
This will be good end game, but we don't need it right now. Stuff like that. And there's stuff that
we only got one customer. We don't need 4 dish racks.
Right. I don't need 4 yet, but you should always buy it because you never know if you'll get it. It's worse than Unrailed in that sense. Unrailed, you get into the thing of do we buy the light train now? Do we buy the light wagon now? This is so much worse though, because it's there's much more in the pool of what you could get. So you're a lot less likely to get the thing that you need.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's that. But it's fun. I would recommend it if that's your sort of game. If a co-op-y. Yeah, I've done it couch co-op style, but a co-op
Halo
kind
Infinite
of
doesn't have that
frantic.
Even though it does.
I don't know why people are so pissed about that. Who the fuck plays couch co-op?
Well, apparently on the Xbox Series X or whatever.
No, I know. I read it. Yeah.
It does have couch co-op. People figured it out, and it's well, we're not gonna do it. I'm
Which,
I wonder if it's
it does,
you can only
I wonder
do it on
if they'll
console.
backpedal and do it.
Maybe.
Well, that's my thing. Is I'm who plays? Well, I guess
we don't because you can't.
I was gonna say who plays couch co-op on a PC.
Oh yeah.
But that's how we played Unrailed. That's how we did Played Up and all that and everything, because it's
oh, that was on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I guess just HDMI cable and then.
Yeah, I mean, when we did Unrailed, I was using my laptop on the TV, and then when we do Played Up, Brandon has his PC upstairs in their house. So yeah, we were just and it's routed into the TV. But yeah, I don't know. Of the myriad of problems with Halo Infinite, couch co-op, that's the thing you're gonna
that's the hill
be upset about.
Yeah,
I get it because I get it from the people get mad because they think about it in terms of the memories of I used to play this as a kid.
They also
with,
said that was something they're never taking away. That was something big. So
I understand that feels like a betrayal because Bonnie Ross specifically stood up there and said with her whole chest, we're never going to ship a game without it again. And then they not only shipped the game without it, they then have now given up on it. And there's the money aspect where I think since they did get rid of couch co-op, they should do. I think the solution is that
it's on Game Pass, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's a big thing, and it's free to play.
Yeah, but I don't know if the campaign is free to play.
Yeah.
I think what they should do is that they should make it so it's It Takes Two, where only one of you has to buy it, but you run it on separate consoles. I think that's a fair like
couch
compromise kind of thing, because like I mean, most people wouldn't actually want to do it in couch co-op, but like one of the best benefits of couch co-op is saving money.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. So since they can't do that, I feel like, well, I'm sure from a development standpoint, it's hard to make that like shareable game kind of thing. But like, if they could figure that out, I would have to imagine that takes less work and less playtesting and everything. And that seems like at least kind of a gimme, you know, to make up for it.
You could just scale down the textures the tiniest bit and just have two things.
I don't think that was the problem, though.
I'm talking out my ass. You know what I mean? It's real easy for me to just say that. Like I'll be honest. Like,
yeah,
but it's like, I don't know what the technical difficulties are, but apparently it is in the game, at least for the Series X, which is like, my theory is they did get it to work for the Series X, but they like lower generation Xbox consoles couldn't handle it. Right. So it's not, that's why you can't on those. And it's like, well, we can't release it. Like, there is couch co-op, but only if you have the newest console.
Right. And it would be tough too for a PC game, because it's like,
a lot of people don't have a controller.
People have
just
like
mouse, keyboard.
People have like amazing PCs, and people have like, you know, a toaster that can run the campaign on absolute minimum settings. And if you ask that computer to do 2 screens, it's never going to work. No. So I'm not.
I get it.
I'm not unsympathetic to the problems of it.
I'm a supporter of the cause, but like I don't know if it's realistic, if it's worth dying under.
I get why people are upset, but I think the level of response is just sort of compounded on a general state of unrest with Halo Infinite, and that's sort of like blowing this out of proportion. Yeah. Like most stuff with Halo Infinite. I don't know. I love Halo, and I always will. Even if they never make another Halo game, I'll still have the ones that I like. So
I still need to get around to playing Infinite.
Yeah, it's
only because I've heard it's good.
I like it.
You have said that you liked the campaign, which is like, you don't throw that around lightly.
No, I don't like many games.
There's a game that I don't know if you would be interested in. Brandon probably would, but it's a... I finally got around to, so I ended up canceling my stream on Friday just because like I did like collabs and stuff, like I was super busy all last week. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm like, I went to Saboten Con with Lyndon, which was a lot of fun. And I'm like, I'm going to a con, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I kind of just want to chill. Yeah. And so I was like, you know, guys, no stream tonight. I'll see you guys on Monday. Like, I'll still be around online and stuff. Like, I don't really want to stream. I'm kind of like, it's like stopping yourself before you get burnt out.
Yeah.
It's, you know, being smart and
taking time. You're warming up.
And so like I ended up watching finally the new 12 episodes came out for JoJo. So like I just ended up like binging all of them, and ended up finally starting Ghost of Tsushima or Tsushima. It is everything I've wanted in a game without realizing it. Where basic gist is it's like a you know, old, it's back in the day, you're a samurai on Tsushima Island, Mongols come and invade, and like all the samurai are pretty much wiped out. Like your uncle, who's like a ruler more or less, is currently being held captive by the Mongols, and like you barely survive, and like you're kind of like just doing things, and like there's like legends of like great warriors in the past, great samurai that are like the ghosts, that's a level of notoriety almost. And so the game is very like it's pretty much all like sword combat and whatnot, and you can like, you know, by killing Mongol leaders, you have like stone stance at first, which is effective against swords, and you can unlock later on, and you can switch it mid combat swing, like so water stance, which is good against people with shields, and I'm almost at wind stance, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like weirdly like hyped about like all the little tools that the game gives you, but it's you know, you can spend your points to you know, as you do things, like you're just running around doing shit because you are technically like you were orphaned with like your uncle, so you're like you are royalty, you're like the highest ranking member of your clan, so like Lord Sakai, like they revere you and whatnot, and like I got to switch it back to Japanese because I had it in English because I wasn't able to pay attention fully. And I was like, now the mouths are off because it's dubbed over because it was recorded originally and animated for Japanese with the subtitles. So, but you're just like a samurai, and it's just very cool. Like you'll just be like running, and you know how in some games, like especially if there's horseback riding, and there's like you can collect resources for crafting. Like you don't craft anything in your inventory. It's more of like you collect stuff and then you can use those for the upgrades.
Yeah.
And like, so you'll be like running on your, galloping on your horse through like, you're like, okay, I need to go here. Like this is where this map marker is. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to go there. One cool thing is you swipe up on the DualSense controller, the little, like they have that touchpad in the middle. Mm-hmm. You swipe up and the winds will blow in the direction you need to go, which is
cool.
It is so much of like the coolest fantasy of like, I'm going where the winds favor me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly it. And it's like so useful. And like when you do it, cause it's got a speaker on the controller, you hear like the, which I'm so glad that Enrique took Poppy today, because like, Poppy's like gets real mad at the wind in the game and like getting upset, but like it's so much fun. Like, and you'll be like, okay, like I'm with the girl, whatever. And sometimes you just focus on your mini map and shit. But I'm like, I see a building up there and I'm like, that's probably where we're headed. And it's like, shortly it's like, yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. that is where we're headed. And it's like, I'll forget that I'm playing a game because like my brain will be like, oh fuck, we gotta like protect these people.
Right.
Like, there was this really cool mission where it's just like a very small thing where like it was a little side thing that you can do to, you get more points. Like if you complete stuff at certain checkpoints, you get more, upgrade your abilities or your tools. Or like there's like mythical attacks, like legendary attacks, like Heavenly Strike, where it's faster than anything, using like your resolve and shit. And it's like a whole quest line to go do that, where you like fight this dude in the rain, mimicking the legend of how this guy did the Heavenly Strike, like he beat the lightning sort of a thing. And it's like very like living legend. This is so cool. This is so much fun. Like, I'm like, I played for like 2 or 3 hours that on Friday night. On Saturday, after the con, I played for about another 5 hours. And then I played for like 4 or 5 hours on Sunday. And I'm like, I have played so much and I have not done a whole lot.
Right.
But like it's been very like each thing that I've done, like I've never felt like I've wasted my time in there.
Right.
Like there's just that much shit to do. And like Ori was telling me that like the bottom part of the island, like the first part of the game is probably the biggest, and it's about like 50% of the game. Second part will be a bit less than that, and the third being the smallest. Yeah. But that's, makes sense. And I'm like, oh, I kind of appreciate knowing that too ahead of time. So I'm like, because you could just focus on the specific things and like get out of there. But it's like, well, to get, the one thing that I need to do for this is I need to go down and help rescue this chick's brother. Well, I'm going to stop at things along the way, and there's just like, you'll see it. But the big thing being when there's resources in the field, like Skyrim is particularly bad about it. You're almost constantly spamming A as you're walking around.
Right, to just
grab whatever you see. You'll be running, and there's like when you're going through, there's flowers which you can use to buy cosmetics and dyes and stuff. And then like bamboo is just another resource. But like if you're going and you can see the whole forest, and like there's that building over there, you're like, I might go check that out, and there's like a river here, and like you're like, okay, cool. You will see from far away that there's like, okay, there's a bamboo thing on the right, because the whole thing of it is like it'll like do like a little like wave cascade like flash. So it doesn't take away from like the immersion, but it calls your eye to it so that you never have to like be on the hunt for it.
Right.
Which I find like it's one of those things where it's hard to describe, but like that frustrates me so much in games where it's too annoying. Yeah. Like as you're going by, like a little pop-up that goes, grab this. And I'm like, no. Like obviously if I'm right on it, then that's fine. That makes sense. And you can grab it from horseback, which keep going. The only other thing, and that'll be the last I talk about it, is the reason why I knew this game was different is any game where you have a horse, there's definitely times where you like jump with the horse and you're like, this horse should be died. It threw me for a loop when like I went over what I would consider like to be like a medium jump, like, oh, I'll probably be fine. I jump, and all of a sudden the horse fucking hits the ground and buckles and throws me off. No damage or anything, but like, oh, right. Fuck, that was like a bit of realism, like that I'm not really being punished for aside from like losing some time, but like now I feel really bad, and now I'm gonna make sure like to not do that. Like Like that's
Don't
even
harm
worse
the
than just
horse.
like, Skyrim, your horse has like, is built from the gods.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, I'm going to make sure I actually take the time to like go through the
down.
switchback because like, I don't want to see him hurt.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know if that was their intent with that, but like, hot damn.
Yeah.
But like everything about it, everything in that game is just so satisfying. And like the stories, like even those little side quests where the little sake bar is like, the Mongols keep like drinking us dry and we can't do enough. And like, they're going to start killing us and stuff. It's like, all right, well, you guys all go hide out behind the building. If they're supposed to be coming back here soon, I'm going to go wait and ambush them. And a lot of it is like, because like the big thing with samurai is like, look your opponent in the eye and have honor, which is why when you start assassinating people as part of the game, like you start having some internal crisis because it's like, that's dishonorable.
Right.
But like, you got to do some shit, man. Sometimes you got to just, because it's like, I need the extra bonus point for clearing this camp. I don't know what to tell you. But like, you can do what's called standoff. So if you see there's a group of Mongols and you get close enough, it'll be press up on the D-pad will be lit up and it'll say standoff. And you'll go, send your strongest fighter to me. And you just sit there, classic.
And then you hold your Joy-Con.
Yeah, you hold your
Flare.
It's basically like that, but like, their biggest, baddest dude will come up and be like, all right. And they can feint. So like they'll do the fake out, but it basically, hit triangle as they're actually swinging, which I have fucked up before, but like that was pretty early on and I haven't done it since because I figured it out and you can level that up so that you can get like 3 people in a row. But like, it feels so satisfying to just be like, you just hop off your horse and go, send your strongest fighter to me. And you just wait and you're like, okay. And then he's like, rah, and it's like, whooshing. And then the next guy comes running up because you leveled it up and you're like, oh, wait till he swings. Whooshing, whooshing. And you're like, who the fuck is next? It's just, it is probably going to be like, I like it more than I liked Elden Ring. And I have not beat this game yet. I have not gotten far in this game yet.
Yeah.
But like it hits all those like, like the right type of progression where there's not too much unnecessary
life.
Exactly. Like no upgrade is wasted. Even I'm just like, are the map marker ones where it's like you can find where there's a fox shrine, you can find where there's like because you can make haikus. If you go to a spot, you can like take a moment and make a haiku. And it's like, based on like what he's seeing, or like you go to the hot springs to get a little bit of a health increase. And it's like when you get in there, you do get to see his butt, which is why it's a good game. To be blunt, it's all about that booty, Jin's booty. And like you'll sit there and it's like, it'll give you 2 options. Like, what do you want to reminisce on? And you could think about like your uncle. You could think about like, what to do when this is all over. You could think about like your mother or like all this other stuff. And it's like those little like insights into the character. I'm like, this is so fucking cool. I'm like, I'm so invested.
Hell yeah.
And that's been pretty fun. So other than that, Graffi came out. I don't know. I did show it to you, right?
Yeah.
The little nasty, like he does look cool.
Yeah.
And then there's supposedly new news coming out tomorrow, which I definitely told work. I was like, yeah, I can come in and be there before 7. And I'm like, wait a second, that news is at 6 and I'm going to be doing shit. So like, I'm like, actually guys, I'll probably be there closer to about like 8:30. So I don't think it'll be an hour for this. That's never how long it is, but I'm not going to be hanging out with everybody for an hour. It's going to be, okay, once we're done, I'm heading out, because also traffic sucks. Because sometimes it's a 15-minute drive to where I need to go, and sometimes
Often
it's 30.
not.
And I'm like, the difference in a drive like that is insane.
Yeah.
But
I took out a Mega Alakazam this morning.
oh, fun.
It's got its Pokemon Go debut.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah, so now I can make Mega Alakazam, which is not going to be particularly relevant because most of the raid bosses aren't weak to Psychic.
Are the dogs still there, or are they gone now?
They're gone. Deoxys is here, though. I got one of every
I literally
form.
was like, fuck, man, I got to do these. And I'm like, don't even open up Pokemon, like the Poke Raid. Like, I just haven't had the brain time to do it.
Yeah, I got my Zacian, which is, I didn't have
It'll
one.
come back.
Yeah. I have an
Not
extra
too worried.
Zamazenta, I think.
I think I have Zamazenta.
Then I cannot help you.
Yeah,
I
it's
only
the
have one
Zacian.
Zacian.
And it's like, I don't want you to give me your only one. There's that living dex, the feeling of like, or I don't need every
I don't need
evolution.
everything.
I want the final evolution. That's I'll settle for that.
Especially of like the
Pokemon
big
space.
the big boys.
Yeah, you want it. I want it. I'm like, I got every Groudon that you can get. I've got like 15 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I could grind them up, and I'm like, but they'll be useful. I'm like, who the fuck am I trading Groudon to?
Who are we giving
that I
Groudon
need 15
to?
of these.
Yeah. Now I have one of every form of Deoxys, which I don't think Deoxys is very good in raids. But I was like, I want one. I want them.
Well, now you have one. You have them all.
I mean, they're easy to kill.
Yeah.
Well, not super easy,
It's
but
psychic.
I mean, like, yeah.
Easy.
Just get out Mega Scissor. Start doing X Scissor.
I got mine.
Quick-
I need them to release
quick,
Mega
fast
Tyranitar.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Because like I have 2 Tyranitars that are both really good, and I'm like, they're my boys.
I need them to put Mega Gyarados back in rotation
Because
I have a fucking 3-star shiny Gyarados
That's
that is my
right.
second most powerful Pokemon. And I'm like,
do you not have enough candies?
Yeah, the Mega's in the game, but I've never fought a Mega Gyarados, so you don't have Mega candy.
Because it's like, why do I need that? And now that they've made it so that once you do it once, you don't ever have to like pay again.
So I literally just have to beat a Mega Gyarados once.
Oh, is that it? Is
Yeah.
That how much? Is because it's that cheap?
If you beat it fast enough.
Oh, okay.
If you can beat it in anything over half time, you'll get 200 plus candies, and 200 is what you need to do it once.
That's so much better. Because that was not what it was when they released Megas. It was like you got 5.
Fucking terrible. Yeah. Now, if you can beat it and have at least half of the time left, it's even a little bit.
Which like Gyarados is easy. You just use electric types.
Yeah.
And destroy the shit out of it.
So like I want, but he hasn't been in rotation for a long time. Last time he was, I just wasn't even playing.
Is he coming back?
I'm sure he is at some point. They've gotten much better about the rotation now. Like the latest one was it was like Ampharos or Ampharos.
Is there one Pokemon in Pokemon Go that you hate getting? Because I have one in particular that I feel like I get always from eggs, as well as the weekly research.
I hate Starly. I hate Stunfisk.
Yeah, the Galarian Stunfisk.
That thing can just go.
I've got so much goddamn candy, and it's like I hate it.
I don't even think it has a shiny form in the game yet.
No.
So I'm like,
And
what the fuck
I wouldn't
is
even
the
want
point
it.
of this thing? I wouldn't want it either.
I'd grind that fucker to candy. I hate it. I hate
Muna Spotlight Hour starts at 1 hour.
which one?
Muna.
Muna.
Munna.
It's a little dream one.
It's
a little sack with the flower.
Yeah.
Turns into Musharna, which was teased way back in like one of the early, I think like gold, like red and blue actually. There's like a girl who's like, man, like it wouldn't be so cool if there was like a Pokemon that was like pink and had flowers on it and like, you know, was like a little ball. And it's like Gen 5, now there's Muna, and it's like, prophetic. Yeah. All right. Well, do we want to get into questions?
Yes.
We really said, fuck it, we're doing a short question time because we're not giving y'all any time. Y'all better be on the upload.
But why is Alola Mola not an evolution
Mola
of
Mola?
Love Disc?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Love Discly?
If it was a regional, evolution of Love Disc?
Which one?
Alola Mola.
Mola, yeah.
Like if it was
cool.
if it was an Alolan evolutionary form of Love Disc, I think that would be quite fun.
Yeah.
And they chose not to do so.
And they had every right to be shitty like that.
Yeah.
Well, it just is like, it looks too close. Like,
It just
what
seems
is it
very
doing?
close.
All right.
And Love Disc seems so basic that it just looks like it would be a pre-evolution of something.
Yeah, like it looks like either like a baby or like, okay, that's the basic, and then what's it turned into?
Yeah. It just seems odd to be a standalone with how simple it is, but such is life.
Alrighty, let's go to comments.
I think Guzzlord is coming. Because he's in like the picture for the season.
I didn't catch any of the Ultra Beasts or anything. I was so bad.
You can get them for... I'm not here to be a sweat, but I was there raiding because I was like, I need a Pheromosa. I need a Buzzwole. I already had a Nihilego. Is that its name? The jellyfish one?
Nihilego, yeah. But I only want the Lusamine one.
Oh, they don't have that in the game yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they will. Well,
I don't know what that is.
The villain, who is like little Lily's mom, she's blonde. She's like the leader of the Aether Foundation. She's blonde, but she's very hot. I'll put it in that limiter. But her hair's really pretty. She like goes into a wormhole because it's the game Sun and Moon when they come out.
Yeah.
And she fuses with Nihilego, and you like fight her. She actually looks really cool. Let me pull it up. Jamie, pull that shit up.
Yeah, but so like I was there raiding. I'm raiding in here because I was like, I need a Pheromosa. I need a Buzzwole. I didn't really care about Buzzwole. Like I needed it for the sake of having it. But Pheromosa I actually like really wanted because I'm like, this could be good in raids. Because I mean, we got it's a fast bug type. This would be good. Bug
like,
fighting
fuses with it.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, she like goes crazy, and like she's very shitty. Like she is such a shitty parent. But like Lucamine in general, though.
Yeah.
MILF who cares not about her kids.
But okay. But you can get
okay. It's just blonde. I told you.
Yeah, Rosalina really popped off. But you can.
You'd be surprised how not far off you are.
But you can. I'm pretty sure you get them for more or less for free from one of the quests that's in the game right now.
Oh, okay.
You can get a Buzzwole and a Pheromosa.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because there's some there's some quests that like I'm like I just need to do. I'm just like one of them is like walk with that daily adventure and
I still haven't done that one.
I'm like,
so it's not that one.
Yeah, get fucked. All right, well that's good to know.
Yeah, one of them will get you Buzzwole and Pheromosa.
All right. Are you guys ready for the jingle?
Question.
That's why I love Quick Quit Wit. Alrighty. Damn, everyone's like, holy fuck. Like I only remember like the cursed gremlin shit most of the time from podcast episodes.
Yeah.
But the amount of people that are like, you guys had like, as Empress Arcana said, you guys had no right to get me as emotional as I did during this episode. And I'm like, we talked about the grimoire. Like, was it when we were talking about Destiny?
Right. Was it the fat pad? Nope. That was the episode before that.
I did buy a fat pad. I did buy one, like a booby mouse pad, and I was like, I gotta do it for the meme. And then literally, Lyndon's like, "What do you mean the meme?" And then I posted on my Discord, and they're like, "What do you mean the meme?" And I'm like, "Do y'all not watch the podcast?"
No.
The fat pad.
Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't put 2 and 2 together.
That being said, though, it has been very nice for my wrist. Like. Aside the fact that it's like on breasts,
yeah,
but or butts, or why don't they make ones with balls? Like I want to
big
rest,
juicy grapefruit.
I want
nuts.
to work the mouse on that shaft and have my hand rest on those lovely man nuts.
Yeah,
you know, that's what I want. Like truck nuts for your hands.
Yeah, well, those are usually made of metal though.
Mm-hmm. Well, these will be soft,
but a nice silicone,
right? Like it's. I mean, it's
to gently cradle my wrist betwixt a man's testiculars.
Goddamn right. All jokes aside, though, if you are someone that is at the computer often, you should get for your keyboard, get like a mat, especially if you do a lot of 10 key typing, as well as something like wrist support, because carpal tunnel fucking sucks. Or even
it'll get you.
Or it's like, do I have carpal tunnel? It's like, no, it went away. But like, there's that period of time where it's like,
you're scared.
You just need to stop.
Yep.
Alrighty. Oh, okay. I forgot that we had asked. We're so bad. I'm so bad at like remembering.
Oh, ask them to name themselves.
The new name. Yeah, like
because they didn't like hype hogs.
Apparently,
which I didn't come up with.
No, I did put like, Odie's idea.
Work in progress.
Work in progress. Yeah. Empress Arcana said, "This is the tarot storyteller. I would call them hypeteers. All for hype, hype for all. No, okay.
Musketeers.
All likes the stage left. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's not bad." I mean, honestly, they're like, we're not going to pick any of them. We're never going to give them a name.
The hype hounds. That's if you're being a little nicer than hype hogs. Okay. You call them hype hounds.
The hype hounds is, but then it's like, what's up? How's the kennel?
Yeah.
The kennel, that's the chat.
Put you in the pound, hype hounds. It's dark. If hope someone adopts you, hype hound.
We can't put the chat. We can't put the community in a shelter. No. Okay. Call it technical fail. K Nash said, call them Hellions or just hypers. Hypers has kind of been like the
fallback.
Ooh, if time was money, how much would you charge people for yours?
What am I having to do with my time?
I agree.
In general, people undersell themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You're worth more than you think you are.
I agree. But
so I would charge more for those OnlyFans pages,
Goddamn right. Well, it depends on like the task. Like if it's something like where you're just needing a pair of hands, like you don't need to pay me a whole lot, man. Like it's not like I'm not that smart, or like it's not like skilled.
Yeah.
Like, if it's to help with some like construction stuff, pay Brandon much more than you pay me because you're getting more value out of him than me. I'm just helping. Like,
well, one thing I will say is like people don't like this is a thing that, at least that I feel that a lot of people don't put enough value on their time, in the sense of like monetary value on their time, in the sense of like, I mean, my classic go-to example from having worked in a grocery store is like a grocery store kind of in the middle of nowhere is like, it takes like a decent, like most people were driving there from like 10, 15, 20 minutes away to go to the grocery store. And people would come back to return one item, like a $2 item.
Yeah.
And I'm like, first of all, you already spent more in gas to come back here than you're going to get out of that item. Like it's one thing if like you return something when it's like on your next weekly trip or something, like that makes sense. But I'm like, beyond gas, beyond travel, think about the time.
Like, it's not wasteful when it's like, it's not worth having to go. It's like why sometimes I skip going. I'm like, I understand that packages are there, but I'm not going to go up and check it until the next time you record, because I'm not going to be coming up, you know, to come visit you or come back up in this area. So.
Like, we have limited time. Use it. Like, and it doesn't have to be like, use it productively, but like, fill it with stuff that, like, you know,
brings you joy.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you know, like why do you sit there and, you know, like even if it's like a hobby where like, you know, for example, like Magic the Gathering, where it's like, oh, you just dump money into it and it's like all you're doing is wasting money, and it's like, no, I'm getting a lot of fulfillment. Yeah, it makes it like, that's just it. It's like I have the freedom to do all these things with it that like I could entertain myself for hours with this. Yeah. Whereas you on your phone, right? You got no data, no Wi-Fi. What you do?
You looking real dizzy over there from a cracked screen, aren't you?
You goddamn right. But yeah, no, I agree. I think you're right. So, yeah, that was a good answer. Yeah. Or whatever people are willing to pay.
That part too.
You know, but you're always worth more than you realize because you are a person.
So charge.
Charge. Yeah. Like I like, even like when it's like helping friends and stuff, or it's like, you know, it's the rule of one where like Cool Mike and I, back when I lived right near him and we'd go to D&D, he would want to like every once in a while like give me $20 for gas, and I'm like, you don't need to do that because like you're literally on my way there and on my way back. It is of no consequence. I just enjoy your company. I would be spending this gas money. He's like, well, I could have driven. And I'm like, well, but you are a dad. You drive all the time. Like, I don't mind. And he's like, no. And so like the first couple times he would do the whole song and dance of like, no, I insist. No. And it's like, okay, at the same time though, he's wanting to do this. So it's like you're allowed to reject once, and that's polite. If they then offer again, it is okay to accept. Yeah. And it could almost be more disrespectful to not accept it. Yeah. Even if you don't want to. If you then want to be real sly and try to slip it into their pocket later, like some mom shit, you can do that. But like for the sake of the interaction, it's like if someone's insisting, like, and you know you're not being manipulated by any means, like, you know, special case aside, like, it's okay. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to receive gifts. You deserve them. It's okay. Yeah. Stupid ass.
Fucking forehead.
So some dumbass named Grand Theft Kenny. I mean, I do love Kenny, but he said so Drifter, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to hear what this hot take is.
Not this.
Yeah. Then now you understand. This. I will heart it though. Kenny, I love you.
Kenny, you are loved, but don't be. Why do you got to say about Drifter?
So Drifter is a rare case. While he still does have a ghost, he hates his ghost and has a quote-unquote deal of sorts with it, where if Drifter dies and his ghost resurrects him, Drifter will destroy his own ghost.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
That's cool.
That actually makes sense.
I thought you were going to do some like Drifter apologist shit in here, and I was going to be like, Kenny?
Dude, Kenny. You got to be so stinky.
Kenny?
No, the Drifter.
Oh. No. I was like, what?
Kenny's very clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never sniffed
I have secondhand knowledge.
Okay.
That he smells great.
I'm glad to hear it.
That was real mean. I didn't mean it like that. Sin's going to clip it out of context for me, but that's fine. We love you, Kenny. We actually have someone. We're going to have a mildly reliable, like, extra person to raid with, too. Yeah. I use the word mildly on purpose because it's like, if it lines up with his scheduling. Like, he was like, call your friend Kenny so we can do this. I'm like, we're not playing on Sunday.
Yeah. There's not going to be a raid on Sunday, you stupid son.
We got to do this right now. I'm like, we don't need to do every pinnacle this second.
Well, I think he was asking to run Masterwork Dare on Dares rather than
got it. And then I don't know if he ended up forgetting or just didn't have time. Or
yeah, I think time just
maybe
work.
We didn't say anything either way.
Time happens.
Okay. But that was cool, Kenny. Thank you. I'll give
that
it
is
a
cool.
thumbs
Thank
up.
you for letting me know, though. I thought you were gonna pull some like drifter pirate bullshit.
Oh.
I was gonna be like, Kenny.
Oh yeah, like an
Kenny?
explanation as to why there's pirate catches.
I was
now.
gonna be like, Kenny. Not today.
Also, why did nobody just break the crystals that
Literally
Aramis
just
was in?
shatter her.
Shatter dive.
Push frozen Aramis off the cliff.
She's literally just on the roof of that building. Like, just
Melt the ice and break her neck. Like,
yeah. But that's bad.
well, we don't know what that could upset the political spectrum of Europa in ways that we don't know.
I have had it.
We have to defeat the Vex.
What political? You mean Clovis and fucking
Clovis
and Varix who don't talk?
Yeah.
It's gonna make things real tension.
Gonna make unexpected consequences. Unforeseen.
The House of Judgment. Callisto asked, "You're immortalizing your dear friend in the form of a new constellation. If you could choose the shape/image formed by the constellation to best represent each other, what would it be? Bonus friendship points if the shape can be turned into a cool legend. That way future generations can marvel at your badassery."
What? I'm making a constellation?
Yeah, so like if you were to make a new constellation of me that best represents of each other,
right?
What best represents the other person,
right?
Bonus points if it like could actually have like some cool lore shit.
Gotcha. It's an amorphous green nebula called the Odiepus Nebula.
Yeah. That's
No. What constellation? Let's see. Take a person that is your friend that you care about and know a lot about and boil them down to one symbol of iconography.
I know what mine would be.
What?
Mine would be where essentially, and you kind of have to like do a little bit of work, just like with most constellations, like the detail gets filled in your head.
Right.
But it is essentially a person standing on one leg but horizontal doing this. like I'm yelling timber, and it's this. It's like, or it's just the face with like the points,
right?
And it's like, and that's it. It's because of the one true core memory that we do share. Of we both remember. I'm gonna remember this.
And in the moment, as I was doing it, I was like, I'm doing something.
You ever just?
I've never. Well, it was just such a weird like thing to do, but I was like, I feel called to do it in this moment. Mm-hmm. And then, in my head of being like, that was weird that I just did that. Then you immediately went, I'm gonna remember that forever. And I was like, this is what happens when you take chances.
Oh, but I didn't think it was weird. Like, that's just it. I was like,
I didn't think it was like weird. I mean, I was drunk and I was just like fucking around.
It was just vibing, but like,
but I was like, this is uncharacteristic of me, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
It was so fun. You were just like, I'm yelling.
I was a trifle wild back then.
Yeah, a trifle wild. I mean, it's like Vines, like where it's like someone does something weird in a Vine, you just like, it's like I repeat it. It's like, why? It's like, are you making fun of it? No. Like I don't. Rat brain. So you're really just going to use that like stinky nebula galaxy as your answer?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't think of a real one.
That's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't want to think of one neither. I wouldn't want to fight me neither. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm looking.
Oh, Lord, he looking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Humboldt asked if this is a declaration of war. I don't know what you're talking about. I say knowing full well what they're talking about, but, the current state. Ooh, Evie's answer was pretty good. Because it made me roll my eyes, and I told, well, I was on the phone with Sid, and then Evie was in the background, like, it was good, but it made me bad, because I'm like, yeah. Hey, guys, long-time viewer, first-time commenting, I think.
Save the animals.
Greetings from Germany. I think you should call your fans ventilators, because then the full title would be the hyperventilators.
Hyperventilators.
Which I'm like, that is pretty good.
That's good.
That is pretty good. Tiny Sparrow had said, for the quick wit, I would call them a trifle wilds. Hello, trifle wilds. Have your spirits run away with you? Come on back to the Hell Yeah podcast. Oh my goodness.
I mean, we could always go to my old standby that I debuted on our game of of Fall Guys.
Oh.
Hey, all you cool flops failures.
Yeah.
That's always a fun one.
That's a delightful one. Oh, man. Lots of people saying that they're like, this is too tall a task to ask 3 friends, or that they already did to tell 3 friends, which I understand.
I get that.
But Kyrgyzstan just put out a video like yesterday or today about like why you're lonely and how to make friends.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I'm not
maybe
lonely,
I
though.
should go post that and
As
be
just
like, hey guys, remember how I said you got to tell 3 friends? Here's some tips and advice to how to get those friends.
Dude, thinking of you with like a kissy face emoji.
Make it a community pose. A passive aggressive. I will say the nice part about this not being uploaded till Sunday is that 100% we won't remember any of it.
No.
But also like they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know that we
They don't know they're
talk,
getting red in the chat.
because they're gonna just see it and be like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck is this?"
It's like you would have known if you were there recording with us. Flop.
Simply should have been there.
No one's on the Patreon tier.
Listen, you can watch the live recordings if you're on our Patreon.
But it's like via
the
a Discord VC where I'm using my phone and like it's a special passcode.
We'll call our Patreon the Trough
for
the hype hogs.
hogs.
And if you're at the $20 tier, you're the head hog.
Mm-hmm. The head
hogs.
Oh, and like when we do live streams, if we ever get like a super chat, we'll be like, thanks for the slops. Like, you know, thanks for the $20 slop. I'll appreciate it.
Don't forget to sound off down in the Pigpen below.
Oh
no. Oh god.
Details in the pig pen below. That's a contender.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta keep going. We don't have to do anything, but we have to be ready, because if Brandon starts like being like, hey, where's the schedule at? We're like, ready and waiting, sir. Bounties have already been picked up.
Where are the deers of eternity?
I do want to beat it.
Give me my BXR 55.
I think we just had
totally
Kenny.
do it.
I do really think, I'm not trying to be defeatist, but I think we need a 4th person.
It would make it much easier. Here's the thing. The 3 of us could beat it. It would take so long, and it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
If we had literally one other person, it would just vastly improve it, especially if that person is Kenny.
Well, like another thing that we probably should have done too was like, okay, if you don't get the infinite heavy for that second encounter, then we just like pull us and start over, because like that's what we should do. If we're gonna 3-minute, that's what we need to do.
Well, and we also did just genuinely get unlucky in regards to which enemies came up for like, because like we made sure that we all had
we didn't have any void. We definitely forgot that.
We did have void, but wasn't it Brandon's heavy? And so then as soon as he ran out of heavy, we were fucked.
And it was like the void's the thing you kind of needed.
We just happened didn't we get Vex? No, we didn't get Vex.
Taken.
We got taken, and all the shields were void, and so we just kind of got fucked.
Yeah.
It's like if we'd gotten the Fallen, we would have been fucking fine. It's all art.
Easy.
Anyway.
Alrighty, so Maria said, I would choose to name them Happiness, which is Enos. Hypeness.
Oh, Hypeness?
Hypeness. But if you say it fast, it sounds like happiness.
Happiness.
Just kidding. Maybe Hypers, although I thought that's where we were. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Lighthearted. But also, like, you're right.
Mood.
Me. Guys, should we change something that didn't need to be changed?
Once a year, we refer to them by a name, and now we're like, we need to come up with a new one.
Gotta. The real quick whip.
I'm sorry.
I need to know, which armrest is yours in the movie theater?
Depends on where I'm sitting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Typically, it's like the right one.
Yeah, generally to the right. But if I'm in the leftmost seat, then it gets kind of weird, because it's like, well, I might as well take the left, because otherwise no one will.
You kind of have to. Or like when we've gone to the movies and we're sitting right next to each other, I almost notice that it'll be either you do take the right, or it's like, okay, I'm gonna be braced up and hopefully we don't touch, just because like it's just that weird like don't want to bump.
The sexual tension.
It's like, yeah, but like that's where like, oh, it's 2 people, you'll like pivot a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like ideally you also don't have people to either side.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you can kind of like lounge a little bit. And so it's more like angled, but that way you're still getting kind of like more, like you get to get more of that armrest because you're not having to like share it.
Yeah. Also, I haven't gone to see a movie that was full enough that I had to be next to anyone I didn't want to be in a long time.
Yeah.
Like I've only been
Far
sitting
From
next to
Home,
whoever
that
I
was it.
went with, you know, like you or Brandon or whoever. And then like the other seat was free. So it was like, well, in this case, yeah, I guess I'll take the left one because no one's here anyway. So that's just a freebie.
Oh, I didn't see Far From Home. No Way Home. That was it. Anyway, but yeah, like if there's a freebie, you got a freebie.
I haven't gone to like a packed movie in a long time.
Apparently, we should have this weekend because it was
For
like
what?
they did like a whole National Movie Day thing on Saturday where like tickets all over the U.S. at every movie theater was like $350.
But what were they playing?
Oh, just anything. It was just to get people to go to the theaters and like plays like they apparently made like all the theaters made a fuck ton of money.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, there still has to be a movie I want to see.
Yeah, I mean it's just like seeing what's out. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, like whatever's
I don't
out.
know.
I haven't cared enough.
In a shocking twist, I'm not a movie person.
I mean, there's only some movies. Like there's some movies that I like care enough to go see in theater as opposed to not. Like
Yeah.
I will say like the last couple of movies that I'd seen in theater, like really seen like the last one before the pandemic was the Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey. Did you ever see that?
I never did.
I think you might actually like it because like it is Margot Robbie and she's very good in it, and it's got some really cool like the police building scene is just like really well done.
Yeah.
And it's a similar like I guess humor vibe like with Suicide Squad and whatnot, where like it's not trying to take itself too seriously like crappy DC stuff. Spoilers. A lot of DC stuff's crappy.
But not the Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad was really good.
That one was really good.
I mean, I loved the Batman.
That movie was really good.
It was so good.
And I hate movies. And I loved that
And you
movie.
watched a 3-hour movie.
And I loved it. I really
I
liked
would
the
have gone
movie.
and seen
I
it
would
in
have gone
theaters
to go
again.
see it again. I tried to get Brandon
Yeah.
to go see it. I can't tell you the last time I tried to get someone to go see a movie.
I know.
And I tried to, and he didn't want to go see it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Like that's just it. It's like
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I am asking someone to go to a movie.
I
with
am once
me.
again asking for your support.
I don't do that. And I asked, and he was like, yeah, we should do that. And then just it never happened. And I'm like, I want to go see a movie. This happens once every 9 years.
Yeah, like we're like it's an intrinsic like I want to go see it. Yeah, and you wanted to share that opportunity.
Some parts of that movie deeply unsettled me, but in a good way, like in a poignant way.
Like yeah, especially
Yeah,
that
that
third
part.
act.
Yeah. Also, at the very beginning, I was like,
Thinking
I got
with
real.
the kid,
I have very like.
or I guess the teenager.
Yeah, well, I don't do well with home invasion stuff. It feels very real to me.
Yeah.
It's a very real fear.
I
of
forgot
mine.
about
I
that.
did not like that.
I
And I was
forgot
like,
that's how it opens.
yeah, and I was
Now
immediately like, this movie's fucking creeping me out.
And it's him. Now that I'm thinking about it, like that's totally weird to think that like he's just like
yeah,
being all sleazy.
yeah,
He did a great job.
He did a great job.
I am excited.
I
to
feel
see
so bad that he literally always plays a creep now. Ever
He's
since
typecasted.
he didn't have to, he wasn't a creep in.
Little Miss Sunshine, right?
Yeah.
Which was a great movie.
He was just a normal teenager.
Well, no, he was colorblind.
And
Sorry,
he-
spoilers.
And he didn't know. He didn't find out until they were in the truck.
Spoilers for a movie from like 2006.
Yeah. And then, ever since he's had to be like a serial killer, I'm like,
Which is kind of
yeah.
funny because like I remember him in that movie and I'm like, oh, he like seems like he could be a good like to be blunt like that like trope of like like the cute emo kid like
Yeah.
kind of thing like
Yeah.
very weird that like he kind of went in a different direction.
Went into like,
I mean, he does a great job, but it's that whole
Yeah.
like typecast where it's like I don't want to have to see that.
yeah, it's a shame. I'd like to see him do more because I think he's a talented actor. I don't know his name. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Robert Pattinson was really good too.
He was really
Which
good.
like
he was surprisingly good.
everyone's like, oh yeah, yay, Sparkle Twilight. I'm like, you act like it was him, like that he wrote the book and wrote the movie.
Also, that was so long ago. Like, who fucking cares?
Team Jacob, first of all, that's not
Honestly.
true. You know what it's like to imprint on your girlfriend's daughter, because that's what happens.
I know.
Renesmee. As someone who read the books, genuinely read the books, I did not like how they ended.
Yeah.
The first book, Twilight, is actually decent, especially with the baseball scene and the fact that they did do the baseball scene in the movie. It was very fun, and I liked the movie. And the movie ends with like supermassive black hole, and it was pretty great. Now I remember why I liked it. It had nothing to do with Twilight.
Okay.
Yeah. What 2-hour chunk of history would you want a video of if you could have a video of any point in history? I can't share it because then we're too close to being like the normal two white guys on a podcast.
I know what. Yeah, I know.
I gotta keep it fun.
Uh-huh.
Keep it light.
My immediate thought for this was not good.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Not because of like anything bad, but I was like, I could solve a mystery.
Yeah. Oh, like you just mean it's not quality.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just dark.
If you could have a 2-hour chunk of history that you would want a video of, if you could have what mystery?
I was like, I could solve the mystery of how, like,
The Titanic.
of JFK. My brain went there because like there are videos of it, and so like that just sort of like keyed in.
But like
that's not what I would not want that to like play on repeat or something.
No.
But I'm like,
but it sounds like it's like you would have like almost like you have a 2-hour chunk of video, but it's like not just from one vantage point. It's almost like you could like go in and you're there. Everything that happened is recorded, and it's up to you to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm like I could solve the mystery, but that's not it. If I could have any time, that's not what I would want for myself. No. If I could have one for myself, oh God. I would kind of want to see the Titanic, but that would be really morbid. But I don't want to see like the people aspect of it. I don't want the humanizing aspect of it. I just want to see like, can you imagine the enormity of something like that? Of seeing it like, like coming up and breaking and like, oh my God, it'd be horrifying. Maybe I don't want that either. That'd be dark. I don't know. It'd be nice to have something happy.
Those are like real big. Like mine was much more selfish. My immediate thought, I'm like, I don't really care historically what happened, but like. Whatever 2-hour time chunk included the first 2 hours of me playing Prey.
Oh my God.
Just to get that first 20 minutes in again.
Right. This is anything in history, though.
Yeah. I don't care.
Maybe just to get to see like the like ancient Egypt just in its prime, like when the pyramids still had like the marble on them and not marble, whatever they had, the like polished like limestone or whatever on them and everything. Less of like a specific historical moment, but just to get to see like antiquity in its prime at some point. That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking of like it's stuff where it's like it would be important to me like family wise, but it's also like it's not good like there's not good. I'm like, because my grandmother, when she escaped like the lines to go to the concentration camps in Poland, I'm like, to be there like that night, like I'm like, why would I want to see her like this is the last time she sees her parents and the rest of her family and all of that, but also like because like that's like something that like we only know from like what she would talk about. Yeah. And it's like, fuck, man, I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to. Actually, I don't want to. Maybe dinosaurs.
Oh my God, dinosaurs. Yes.
Oh yeah, fuck that. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Fuck all the sad shit. There's no sad stuff with dinosaurs.
Yeah. If I could, like, I wouldn't want something that's
like ancient Neanderthals, so I could see some ancient titties.
Jesus Christ! I just look at okay.
I want to go back in time and see essentially like Adam and Eve more or less clapping cheeks.
Right. Wilderness by Nick Jonas plays in the
Like
background.
how hung was Adam in the
probably
in the
not very.
That's okay. You know, the first man wasn't hung either, so like it's okay.
Well, I'm just saying most primates and stuff have very small penises in proportion to their body. Oh. So like since that would be like fairly early in our diversion from that, probably pretty small.
Oh man. Yeah. No wonder Eve ate the apple.
Right. She was tempted.
Yeah.
Oh honey. Oh, fuck. Yeah, but like in all seriousness, like it would be cool to see something that was not actually a pivotal historical moment, just like something like from like the distant past, you could never really know what it looks like. Yeah, like Egypt, Greece. I don't fucking know. No. Yeah,
the Dallas Cowboys.
We have them winning the World Series. Not World Series. Never mind.
Yeah, you get it. You understand.
Yeah, you understand.
But then again, if I did have the ability to do that like once a day, then I absolutely would blow it on like little things, especially if
once a day.
Like, you have a video, but I'm like, is it like you can control it, or is it kind of like okay, I have 2 hours and I can do whatever I want when I'm in here?
Well, Jamie pulls the shit up for you.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie.
Yeah,
Jamie and Rudy. Well,
and then you say like, zoom in on this, enhance, pivot, pan,
pivot.
Yeah.
Rudy
bounce off of that raindrop.
I've only been getting the voicemail box for Rudy.
I'm worried.
I'm like, hey man,
he's looking to put the ghoul in Giuliani.
He about to Giuliani. Giuliani. All right. Turtle Pond asked, "What's a small mannerism?" Oh, shit! You ever push a button? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What's a small mannerism or something in that nature that you have that surprises / confuses / generally elicits a reaction from people, or if it's never come up that you think would. I already know.
I have one from when I was a kid that I used to do
Yeah.
all the time, and it got called out to me one time, and I was like, oh, God, I do that. I never thought of it. I don't do it anymore because I was shamed on the bus. But I used to constantly just like do this on my eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just like, so I'm like smoothing them. They weren't unruly. It's just something I did all the time.
It was just like...
It's just a nervous hand thing that I would just do that.
I click my... Like,
Yeah.
I'm a clicker.
Yeah.
I'm a tapper. there's always noise. Mine is that when I eat a burger, I will rip it,
Palm this burger.
into eatable pieces. And so you could use silverware, and I'm like, why would I dirty dishes like that?
Yeah.
Those are perfectly clean forks. I don't need it. But yeah, that's it. Do you know your audience? No, Hayden. I don't.
No,
H.R. Hayden.
I've never met the High Hogs.
Oh, H.R. Hayden. Or H.R.H. Hayden.
You are
I think
weak
it's
like H.R.
Hayden.
Hayden.
H.R. Hayden. We are not the kind of people that have more than 3 friends to advertise to. Well, 27 thumbs up. 28 now.
Looks like you got 28 friends.
I mean, they are technically...
Who are currently
watching the video. But they better not be... Are they subscribed?
They're eating out of the trough already.
The trough. Hey, guys. New slop drop.
Weekly slop.
Come and get it. All right, who wants a teaser for the next week's video? Let me hear you squeal.
This is bad.
Hell yeah. All right. I think that's it. Kale said, oh, whoa, what's this? Touches your grimoire.
Grimoire? I think there was one question from the previous episode that was added after.
Look. Yeah.
I don't remember what the question is.
Was it from Leo?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, because the first one was the best meal we've ever had. That was last week. So Leo's question from Ghost Tasks.
It better be good, because I called attention to it, so it better be good, Leo.
Question.
Uh-oh.
What could make you start your villain arcs?
Oh.
Apart from unprompted words of affirmation / hand job.
I'm going to come on and say it. I'm going to come on and say it.
Mm-hmm.
I fairly recently was at an In-N-Out Burger with Brandon and Taylor. And I was sitting at the booth.
Oh, I haven't been inside an In-N-Out
It was
Burger.
a long time. It's been a long time since I did that. It was a very weird, very liminal, very odd.
You were a younger man then.
I was a trifle wild at that booth. There was the booth behind me was full of children, small children, young, loud children, and they were kicking. And it was that kicking where it's you're in a booth, and so like your seats are one unit.
You're one unit with the chair, like essentially with the people behind you.
Yes, and the kids were behind me, and they were like kicking the fucking booth thing, and it's nothing that egregious. It's not like they're not kicking me. They're not like reaching over and hitting me, but I'm feeling this like over and over and over again to the sound of kids like laughing loudly, and it's not funny. And I was like, I'm going to break. I was like, I'm becoming that old man who's going to turn around and give them a bad memory.
Oh my God.
Of the time they got yelled at in public. Because I'm like, you need to stop. You need to be respectful of others. I'm not saying kids can't play, but you have to be respectful of others. Come on.
Like
I stop.
I personally, when it comes to kids, there's a level of tolerance because, like, I get it.
We've all been kids.
And I know good parents, and I will say, and I do mean...
Parents know where to be found.
I do mean...
There were 3 kids at the booth. There was no parent the entire time we were there. We were there for 30 minutes.
I understand. And I do mean...
None of the kids were over 8 years old.
I do mean...
Where are the parents?
Good parents.
Yes.
Know that, like, kids are just going to be kids, and everyone kind of knows that. And it's like, I understand that you're frustrated. It's like, it's not a big deal. It's whatever. Within a certain variance, because like kids get bored, and like there's some things that no matter how good of a parent you are, like some kids are just kids. Like
they're just kids,
especially the younger they are. But then there's people who are like, the kids can just go sit, and like they see that they're fucking terrorizing something. I don't care. That's not my problem yet. I'm guessing parent comes over, they tell them to knock it off, but like that doesn't help you for that.
That's
10
a
minutes.
step up from what happened with it. It's nothing that didn't even happen. It's the kid equivalent of like. Yeah, it's the kid equivalent of the people where they're like, my dog's barking, so I'll just put him outside. And I'm like, now it's everyone else's problem. And also you're leaving your dog outside, which is just like shitty.
Yeah, it's very hot. Like,
I mean, it's more of an Arizona thing, but I'm like, don't just leave your fucking dog out there. Don't be a shit. it was such a small thing, but it's cumulative. And I was like, please just stop. I'm not even mad at them for like being like loud like kids, but I'm like, stop kicking my seat. Like realize that the seats are attached and stop kicking it.
Like your actions have a consequence, have an impact. Like,
right.
Like you're literally impacting my ass.
Go kick, like move to the other side of the booth and kick that one because there's no booth behind them. There's just like the trash can behind it. So do that on that side. Like I'm not trying to be like, don't be a kid, but like stop kicking my seat.
Yeah, it's the oh god, it's the equivalent of a guy who's a piss talker taking the urinal next to you when there's plenty of urinals.
Yeah.
They're the same kid, same person growing up.
They grew up to be that kid.
Yeah.
But they grew up to be that person.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, they're a kid. Because you're a fucking child.
Thank
you. That would be a good title if it wasn't like, ugh.
Yeah.
They're a fucking child.
They're a fucking child. Yeah, they would.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah. Okay.
What about you? What's your villain arc? What pushes your button? What gets you? What grinds your gears? What wets your noodle?
I love my sister.
Great
very
start.
Much. And I understand that she's busy. And I also understand that I previously, it's on my YouTube channel, have talked about how I feel about dishwashers and hand washing dishes. And I will concede that it is correct that technically dishwashers use less water and whatnot, and that you don't need to like fully deep clean and everything. But that's all well and good. You know, reports are like, you're just not loading it correctly. I'm like, if you are loading it correctly, but you leave all that shit caked on for days in your sink and then put it in there, like the sheer amount of times, and it's not just like my sister, like this is just like a more recent example, because it's like I end up just putting half the dishes back in the sink because I'm like, they're not clean. Like I'm not going to go put it with all the clean ones. Like it looks, you can see that there's shit caked on it. Like it's annoying. And like, I remember when I used to work like just working at like, you know, stores or whatever, people are like, yeah, I washed all the dishes. I'm like, no, you didn't. And they're like, you're being kind of being an asshole. And I'm like, no, like, how do you not like see this? Like the whole bowl. Dishes. Yeah. Like it's so completely dirty. Yeah. And I'm like one of these days I'm going to fucking break, because it's like, you know, load the dishwasher. Like I literally did it this morning where like, I was like, oh, I'm like, I'll put all the dishes in the sink. Cause last I checked, it was like, I had already ran it and emptied it. I'm like, oh no, it's full. We're also out of spoons. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I like look, and I just do a quick look at some of the dishes, and I'm like, I'm going to have to rewash so many of these. And I'm like, I don't have time for that right now. Yeah. And I just I did it. And so like, when I get home, I'm going to unload it and I'm going to go, because to me, it's like, it doesn't take that long. Yes, it's wasting a bit of water. And it's like, well, then what's the point? I'm like, you're sanitizing. It's like, because I'm using the same sponge with the dish soap on it, but it's like, it's cleaning off all the crud for everything. I'm like, it's just to get everything like cleaned off. And if I want to, if I was like, when I lived alone, like I pretty much never used my dishwasher. It was exclusively my drying rack, because I would make sure it was fully clean and then put it. Because I was also like, I also then got into the habit of like, I'm eating off of the same dish and the same fork, because it's like, I wash it and put it back, it and put it back. And it's like, okay, I can let some dishes pile up just so it's not like, this is the one dish I eat off of. Why do I have 4 others? You know.
For guests. When I come over and we cook lasagna.
Lasagna. Correct. But that's
when I
like,
gently warm your kitchen.
Oh, thank you.
For 6 hours.
Or the blinker. People not using their blinker.
Yeah, just use your fucking blinker.
It drives me up the wall. It is free. Blinker. Like
it's such an easy motion. It's in the direction of what you're gonna do. Like if you're gonna be turning left, you in the direction.
You literally have a free way that takes no energy to communicate to everyone around you what you're about to do. And like I the other day I like went and like I left and came back home, and like my sister was outside like doing some like weed killer shit. And I'm like, she didn't even like hear me. And I was like, are you not listening? She goes, no, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to like not listen. She's like, I'm just like really in the zone. And I was like, no, I get it.
Happens.
I understand.
She was experiencing flow.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, I'm not mad. But I was like telling her, and I'm like, I out of body feel like the biggest fucking nerd ever. But also, it is something that I said with my whole chest. And I was like, I realized that there is something about myself that I'm really proud of. And she's like, what? And I was like, oh, I'll tell you. Not realizing it's because she hadn't heard me yet. But like, and I'm sitting there like standing like, it's like twilight. Like, it's about dusk. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm just like, I take a lot of pride that like, I use my turn signal like religiously, even in areas where like there's only one way to go, but it's like very clear that I'm constantly communicating it. And honestly, I find it to be really disrespectful when people don't use their blinker, because also that was part of the agreement when I was allowed to earn my license. Like, per the state of Arizona, to get your license, you are expected to follow all of those rules. And so it's like, that is one of the most like first rules is use your fucking blinker, like, to communicate. You're driving around giant metal death traps with your loved ones, and you're just gonna not communicate to anybody because no words need to be exchanged, nothing. It is super easy. And I understand that sometimes it's like they didn't use their blinker, but it's because where the blinker was in your blind spot, and like those are one-off situations that hardly happen.
Well, they used the blinker.
Yeah, they still use it. That's like you're mad and you go, oh fuck, no, they did have it.
I just couldn't see.
I couldn't see it. That's okay. Like it was everyone else too.
Blind spots happen.
And but I'm like, it is so easy to do, and the amount of people that like I'll see, and I'm like you're just I literally call people an asshole in my car all the time.
Oh yeah.
But like never true road rage. Like they never cut me off or anything.
Right.
Like, it's always just like, no, I see you like just or like threading cars, and I'm like, you can go ahead and do all that. Just use your fucking blinker.
It doesn't take any effort.
No, it doesn't.
Like, it's not like, obviously, like, I think anyone who doesn't like push their shopping cart all the way into one of the corrals is an asshole.
Correct.
But that takes effort. And I understand that there are scenarios where like people can't exert that effort for various reasons. But most people, they're just not doing it because they don't want to.
It's a litmus test. It's completely free, and there's only a benefit to society.
Right. That said, doing your blinker, you don't even have that. You don't even have to push something somewhere. It's literally part of the sequence.
And I understand
it's there.
If it's something where you're physically unable to and whatnot. Like,
or if your blinker's broken.
Or your blinker's broken. Like, shit happens.
You should fix it, but life happens.
But also, that is not the case for the sheer amount.
The vast majority.
Because I would argue that more people than not don't use it.
Yeah.
Like, or at least it's noticeable, because when people use their blinker, I don't think anything of it. Well, I go, oh, okay.
Or they'll only use it at a time when like it actually isn't as helpful. Like
they're already turning
in a right turn lane, and then like they'll turn it on as they're turning. I'm like, you're supposed to turn it on. First of all, you should be turning on before you do the thing, because it's an indicator of what you're going to do, not what you're doing. And I can see your car's turning.
Yeah, like
you should be telling me what you're going to do.
Even if it's a lane that like this lane only goes right, like onto the freeway, like I still use it, because it's like sometimes I'm like, on the phone or whatever, or just like in my own world while I'm driving, I'm paying attention, but it's like, oh shit, fuck, I shouldn't be in this lane. Like I don't want to get onto the freeway. Yeah. Like good thing all these like everyone's turning right. I'm like, wait, why are they turning right? Oh fuck. Okay. Oh fuck. All right, I'm fucked. Yeah. But c'est la vie. Yeah. The only thing that is not worse but is close on a similar level is people who then lane change and don't turn off their blinker.
Yeah, that's annoying, but that's a different kind of annoying.
That's why I'm like, it's almost at the same level. It is not as bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you did use it. You did the bare minimum. You just, right. I'm like, okay, like, are you actually going to be going left?
Are you going to keep going?
Should I be giving you this space? Because I'm going to feel like an asshole if I just come up. Yeah. And it's like, a lot of times it's just, oh, fuck, I forgot. Because we've all done it.
We've all done it.
But, that's what I have to say about that.
And that's that on that.
But let's not have that conversation, because we're almost at 2 hours.
Let's celebrate that.
Yes. Queen, yes. Yes. I love Chipotle.
Chipotle's my life. Yeah. Okay, yeah, hi, bye.
Yeah, hi, bye. No, we're not doing a stream on Sunday. We're not allowed to.
No.
So
we got shit to do.
Yeah, we do?
I don't know.
Oh, well, we can't.
Oh, why? Yeah. What's Sunday?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Yeah, we can't. You won't let me.
No, I will not.
But otherwise, we are at like 18. I mean, sometimes like you look on YouTube and then you look like in the studio, and I'm like, one of the numbers is right.
Studio.
It's like 1809.
Studio.
So, we're getting close. We're almost at 2K. That'll be a lot of fun. But I know that we See, now it's kind of sucks where it's like it's coming out on Sunday because it's like, do we have anything? We can't like announce anything for this weekend because it'll already be too late. Outside of like doing it, whatever. But we will
plan farther ahead.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we're not doing anything this weekend anyway, though.
No, but like if we wanted to, like we wouldn't have that luxury of like short term like we normally do. That's all I'm saying.
Most of the people who get to the end of the episode are already gonna watch whatever it is.
I know, but it's still important to do.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, we should like just because it's like fun to have people to come in and hang out and have a good time.
No, I know, but they will anyway.
Yeah. So I guess like it doesn't matter if we give them short notice, is what you're saying. Yeah. Well, I mean, ideally we should just be good about like if we can plan stuff more ahead. Yeah. It's more on us, but
no, I'm not saying people not showing up. I'm saying
like we're like I'm worried about a problem that's probably not really there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. That's typical. So I won't. But I know I do want us to do a live stream on the podcast channel, like doing the game in particular. Maybe next weekend. We will take a look. We gotta look at the calendars, and then I also know that we do want to do the onesie stream this weekend, or not this weekend, or maybe this weekend. I don't know if you have it done or if you have it close to being done.
I haven't started mine, but I can do it in a day. So
yeah. So
if we want to do it this weekend, we can. I just need to know.
So we'll discuss that offline. No pressure here.
In our offlines.
Yeah, in our offlines. They're comfy. There we go. The official shoe of the podcast.
Oh, God. Okay, offline mules. Version 3. Version 3s. Not version 2s.
Not version 2.
Version 2 were open toe, and I'm not here for all that.
Ugh.
I'm not here for that. Then it's not a slipper.
No.
This is a slipper.
Slippers or grippers? That's all I wear. I don't fucking know. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Yeah.
Drink some water. Take your meds or fucking whatever. It's Sunday. Get ready for school.
Take care of yourself. Go to bed.
Yeah, why are you still
Go
up
to
listening
sleep.
to this? Go to bed, Flop.
Go to sleep.
Good night. Goodbye.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Hope your CD doesn't skip on the bus.